Oh, there we go. Hey, welcome to bonus content. I'm Alex. Scott's here. Cassidy's here. This
Yay.
is like the super like low key intro, and then I'll give you like a proper introduction when we get started. So, Cassidy, how's life?
It's pretty good. I've been
Yeah,
doing all right. Yeah.
you're posting all these like art pictures.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
uh
a friend of mine and I have started working together a little bit more
hmm
on some art stuff, and I don't. We are working on putting together some kind of saleable project.
Okay.
I don't want to say too much yet because we don't want to like rope ourselves into like deadlines and stuff. But yeah, we're trying to get some art stuff off the ground.
So let me get this straight. You're like talented.
I I I enjoy drawing, and sometimes they look like the thing I want it to look like.
Okay, that's probably the best way to put it.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
that's all I've been seeing is like these kind of half drawn things or like allusions to things. So I was getting excited. I'm not gonna rope you into a deadline though.
No, yeah, I don't want to make any formal announcements yet, but yeah, that's we're working on some stuff. So
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah,
Uh,
that's fun.
how like how's life? You know, you're out there on the grind always.
I am. I grind a lot.
I mean,
50/50. No,
fi-
I mean like work wise or
yeah, I mean whatever. We can talk about whatever. We don't necessarily have to talk about video games in this part, so.
well, I mean
Yeah, I know this. I'm pretty much leaving this in open art form.
you're opening it wide up.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm trying to think. There was a lady blowing bubbles across the street from me today.
like in a city, like in a
Oh yeah,
crowded
oh yeah, no.
metropolitan
I
space.
I live in I live in Berkeley. I live in Berkeley, California.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
so on a rate of circular to SpongeBob, how good was she blowing bubbles?
yeah,
Oh,
that's
she was straight SpongeBob doing it. It was pretty impressive. They were huge. They were huge. Like I was across the street and I was like, where the hell?
but
Like,
like was she using like one of those wands that like looks like a Quidditch hoop? Like
yeah,
that's
I
just
think it was. I
okay.
think it was one of those things where you just sort of drag it through the air. They were
That's
impressive.
awesome.
They were like softball size. I know. I was like, all right.
That actually makes the whole like metropolitan area thing more impressive if she can pull that off
Oh,
with
Berkeley's really weird. I don't know
yeah,
if you've ever been to Berkeley, but it's
just
a
once. So
weird town. It like there was a Telegraph is one of the main streets that cuts through it, and like I was walking down the street one time, and there's like these kids playing hacky sack with a pizza crust.
mhm.
There's a group of I don't know exactly what religion or what philosophy it is, but they walk around kind of banging a drum and chanting. Which like sure, it's it's not hurting anybody.
Yeah, I mean, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, there was a four-piece Bourbon Street jazz band that was just kind of hanging out on the sidewalk once, and they were actually really good.
That's awesome.
It's a weird town. I like it a lot.
Yeah. I mean, my closest experience with like a jazz band was in San Francisco. There were just two people like doing a saxophone duel in the
That's
middle of
cool.
the street, and I was
Sounds about
way
right.
into it. Yeah. How do you feel about the OC, Cassidy? This is important to my interests.
The OC, like the show,
The show, the television show.
I've never seen it.
Okay. Are you a
To be honest.
fan of like teenage angst?
Um, no. I don't know. It probably depends on the situation.
Okay. I
I
mean,
used to
fair
listen to a
enough.
lot of really shitty pop punk bands when I was in high school. So it's
Okay,
tough.
so like imagine those shitty pop punk bands
Uh-huh.
embodied into a television show.
Oh Lord.
And all of their hatred towards the world was actually just like hatred towards adults. And
So like a Simple Plan music video.
yeah, exactly.
Fair enough.
That is that's the OC. I've like this past week there's now a new show that I'm a part of. Somehow I ended up on an OC rewatch podcast.
Awesome.
It's called The Brosi. Um, and I mean
I've heard of this. I think actually, it sounds familiar.
I tweeted about it yesterday.
That's probably where. Yeah, that's probably where I saw it.
Uh, there are weird like moments in my life where I'm just like doing stuff and someone says, "Hey, do you want to be on this show?" I say yes. I like teenage drama. Who doesn't? Apparently you, which is fine.
I mean, I guess it would depend. Like, I really like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I don't know if that counts as
Okay,
teenage drama though.
it does, but Buffy the Vampire Slayer is like way more badass. The
It's
OC
true.
is significantly less badass. There's about 100% less vampires in the OC, as far as I
No.
know. I've only gotten through the first 2 seasons.
Well, it might be like the soul-sucking kind that you just don't know about. It's hard to
Yeah.
say. And I am really big into Gilmore Girls, so
Okay.
I guess that's probably the closest that I get to that type of show.
Yeah. Gilmore Girls is very smart though. And the
Can
OC
be.
is too, like at its best, but for the most part it's like a little bit more low key. I don't know. There are similar character types of the
Now, are
OC.
you into? My brother had a girlfriend once who was huge into Pretty Little Liars. This is not why he dumped her, but I can't.
But it has to be related.
It helped out, I'm sure.
I've never
Is that one
watched
that you
Pretty
got
Little
into?
Liars.
Okay, it's really bad.
I will say there's definitely a keen interest. I mean, like if it's bad, I can probably get into it.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, it might be worth checking out. You might be into it. I don't know.
yeah. I watch plenty of terrible television. I'll let you know.
Oh, sure.
I watch plenty of good television, but anytime like teenage drama enters the picture, especially like one with like a hook. So if, the Pretty Little Liars, I think is like there's like some murderer going around killing
I
people.
I don't know. I thought it was like a bunch of girls killed a girl. It's hard to say.
I think they like secretly killed a girl or like resulted in her death, but you know they're all liars. I don't know. It actually, if I think about it too much, my brain starts to hurt. The Broc, an OC rewatch podcast. Yeah, I'm on that, so that's out there. You can go listen to I think 3 episodes of that, or at least the first one's out right now. For folks watching at home. Yeah, that's it's I'm really proud of it, but I'm also like a little disgusted with myself and everything.
Eh,
Yeah, you know,
that's all right.
I'm on like 17 different podcasts at this point, so if
No
one of
shame.
them is about the OC, I'm okay with it.
Have you ever listened to The Worst Idea of All Time?
I'm very familiar with it, but I've never listened to it.
So these are the guys that watched Grown Ups 2 for like a year straight or something.
Yeah, and then they met up. Oh, that's right, you are a fellow Mabim Bam fan.
Oh yeah, and they did the Paul Blart at Thanksgiving with the brothers. It was really good.
Yeah, the worst idea of all time, I think, actually. Watching Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 every year forever.
Ugh.
So Scott, the premise of that show is that if any of the hosts like die, they'll be replaced by someone else.
Yep.
So the show will feasibly live on forever.
Yeah, that's their plan. They want to make that their
That's such like
legacy.
what if like it's the Noah's Ark of podcasts. It's like this is the thing that will sustain our legacy, and it'll go on forever. It's about Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, not even the first one.
Yeah.
I've never seen either of those movies. My roommate has,
Oh, they're trash.
but
They're just straight trash.
Do
Paul
I-
Blart is one of the worst movies I think I've ever seen. It's awful.
do I have to watch the movie to enjoy this show?
No.
Okay. So I have not listened to this one. I've been saving it for a rainy day.
I feel like a good movie podcast, you won't necessarily have to have watched the movie. Like I listen to How Did This Get Made all the time, and like I've never seen, maybe I have seen one or two of them, but I haven't seen the majority of those movies, and I never will because they're garbage. But it's still fun to listen to and kind of hear people riff on it.
Yeah, there's definitely an appreciation for it. I mean, relevant topic. I don't think I'm gonna end up seeing Suicide Squad, but I listened to a couple of reacts to it, and
I
kind
don't want to get me started on that one.
yeah, kind of took that in. So yeah, I think there, even if it's especially if it's a bad movie, I would say you can really appreciate hearing someone talk about it.
Oh yeah, no. Well, it's the same thing with a review, right? Like the most fun reviews to read and or write are either really really nice, good, glowing ones, or really really terrible ones.
Yeah.
Like just ones about just nightmare garbage products of any kind.
The one of the reviews I'm the most proud of is for The Walking Dead season 2, which I did not like. So, but it was the first time where I didn't like something and I was able to articulate why.
Oh sure.
So, yeah, that's definitely, especially if you can hit it like on the head with that.
I did that most recently with Mutants in Manhattan.
Shit, I never heard of
Yeah.
Mutants in Manhattan.
Good.
Good, it's real bad.
It's real bad. Yeah,
What's
it's another shitty TMNT license game, which
oh,
just guts me. I know I freaking love the Ninja Turtles, and
I'm wearing a Ninja Turtle shirt right now.
we haven't. This was the Platinum Games one, so like Platinum Games,
Oh,
I'm mad at Platinum Games. We're
mhm.
we're in a difficult spot right now in our
Okay.
friendship
Yeah.
because they already done me wrong with Korra, and then they
Yeah.
did this, and I'm like, really? Like you
Yeah.
made a good Transformers game. Like there's no excuse for this anymore. This was just a paycheck game for them.
Yeah.
But
It's a pity Nabishin's not here. He's like the biggest Platinum Games fan I know.
I like Platinum games. Like
Mhm.
I straight up do. Like Vanquish is one of my favorite games. Like Bayonetta is always good. I just like that's why I'm so mad.
Did you ever play Wonderful 101?
No,
That's worth playing.
I
That's
never. I didn't have a Wii U until like a year or two ago. So
that's the only Platinum Games game I think I finished.
Mm.
I mean, I love plenty of Clover Studios stuff, like pre-Platinum, but yeah, that's the only one I've seen all the way through the end. It's way too long, but
Sure.
it's worth seeing if especially if you like what they do. It's a cool game. It's got a lot of cool ideas in it.
I've heard of the case.
Um, what's your review that you're most proud of?
Mm. That's a good question. I honestly forget that I review things. Like I'll go back and be like, "Oh, that's right, I wrote this one." Um, I mean, the Ninja Turtles one was fun to write. It was not the one that I'm the most proud of, but it's a recent one that I really liked. You know what? Let me. I'm gonna Google.
We're gonna pop open the Contently
Yeah.
and
Well,
go back through the backlog.
I haven't updated that thing in like a year and a half. It's so bad.
Said everyone who had a Contently ever. That's fine.
Yeah. You know what? Come back to me. I'm gonna Google for a second.
That's
See what I
fine.
was reviewed.
Hey Scott,
Yeah,
how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
How's your week been, man?
My teeth came out of my face.
Oh Jesus! Did you go? What happened? Was this
Okay.
intentional?
No.
Mm. That is not what I like to hear. Tony's sick, and then you're getting teeth yanked, pulled. Did you fall? Or
More like squeezed.
Oh, okay. What happened?
No, I'm kidding.
Okay. Thank God. I can't handle this. Right, your birthday is like next Thursday. What a terrible sour note to start it on.
Basically, I went to the dentist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then
He said all of this is
they
fucked.
said, no, no, should have.
Okay.
She should have.
But
But
no, it's fine. Take your time. I'm here.
But she goes in, she starts drilling, and then she's talking to her assistant about what's it called? There being a surprise complication. I'm like,
You're just sitting there with
Huh?
your mouth open, like,
I just like,
let me know. Yeah.
and then it starts hurting through two I'm pretty sure full needles of the anesthetic that they gave me. So I'm like, hold on, stop. How bad is it? And they said your teeth started buckling under the gums. And I'm like, huh.
Anytime I hear the word buckling and refer to like teeth is just not a good. That's no good.
Yeah, you're making me cringe.
Yeah.
So this was under the gums, so I had absolutely no idea this was going on.
Hmm. Of course. You're just sitting there eating a cheeseburger and you're buckling.
So
I think that's how that works.
I asked them, can they fix it? And they said we can try, and that just wasn't good enough for me, so I decided to pull them.
Oh, which teeth were they?
The wisdom teeth.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, you know how the dentist will say, hey, these teeth might cause you problems.
Yeah. They start
Generally,
causing problems.
that's the problem that people generally get with them.
Yeah.
There's a small gap between your gum and the back of your teeth
Yeah.
where you just can't brush, but things can still get in.
Yeah. One thing in, no things out. I gotcha. If you want to hear like a tooth horror story, when my when my brother Brady had his wisdom teeth removed, they broke them
Ugh.
and pulled them out bit by bit. Because
That's how they do it.
yeah, it's oh god, that's the worst thing.
It's terrifying. Yeah, I made the mistake of watching like it wasn't even like a video of it. It was just like a one of those like animated gifs that kind of show it, and yeah, they like super break everything and just like pull. It's awful. It's awful, dog.
I have to get them pulled out.
Ugh. Well, you're under
No,
while you're
no.
doing it, so it's not like you're.
Yeah.
Mine were not broken when they did it. Mine.
No.
No.
Yeah,
Mine were fully intact.
ugh. I don't know if that's
like
worse.
they had started drilling on it and everything, and mine did not break when they pulled it out.
Oh no.
Jeez.
So like, nah, it's not bad.
Okay.
It's like, all right, so
They're for sure gonna have
So,
to break
like,
mine.
two-
I already know that though.
Ugh.
I can just feel
no, it did. Have yours grown in yet?
I think so. I don't know. How would I know?
They
Yeah,
okay.
you'll have a set of teeth in the back where they were not like a year ago.
Oh, okay, cool. They're extra teeth. Oh,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, you'll be really good at eating corn on the cob for a little bit.
Okay. For
Yeah.
a hot minute. Yeah,
Yeah.
I lost some of that time with braces, so it's good to get it back.
Oh, sure.
So they just yanked him?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
okay.
came right out. Like, okay, so like to give you an impression of how it felt,
Here we
just
go.
go have your brother just go put your face up against the wall, and then just have your brother with one arm just push against it, and it's just like, huh?
That's terrible. My brother is
No.
very strong, to be fair.
It's just a bunch of pressure, but no actual pain per se.
Okay.
It's not enough to like hurt. Really.
It's not gonna hurt, but you'll feel it. You'll feel something. I don't know.
Absolutely, because
I don't know
they
who was telling me some weird tooth story this past week, but it was all terrible. I don't know why this took a weird
I have
turn.
like severe anxiety about teeth too. So it's just like.
You came on right at the right time, so
Oh yeah, no. I will tell you though, drilling is the worst, hands down.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I never had like problems with fillings when I had to get like I haven't had to get fillings in a while, but when I
Like,
did, it was
you-
never like too bad.
Right. You know how you felt when you got a filling and it wasn't good?
Yeah.
This is more comfortable than that.
Okay. That's fine. I can handle that.
So long as your teeth don't break.
They're for sure gonna break. I already know that though. Did you
See, I
find
think
your
I-
review? Cassie?
Yeah, I did. You know, and I think the one that I'm actually most proud of is Ratchet and Clank. I did that one for GameSpot earlier this year, and I really like how that one turned out.
Okay.
Like a good review for me is one where I am able to articulate everything that I thought about it, and that was
Okay.
one of them that I really liked. So there you go.
Cool. I added to my reading list.
It's a glowing review too. I really liked that game a lot. So
Yeah, I like it quite a bit as well.
It's really good.
The remake.
you know,
Remaster?
it's not a remaster and it's not a remake. It's kind of a half reboot. It's really
Yeah.
kind of weird.
A soft reboot. I'm pretty sure.
Kind of, because
That's
it's
what the
still-
kids say.
Yeah, well, they still kind of like talk about how it's not the first time that this has been a Ratchet and Clank game. It's really kind of weird,
Yeah.
but it's really good. It's a really good game.
Yeah. I hope they make more of those.
They will.
Yeah.
I think they will.
You know, it took, no offense to Insomniac North Carolina, took them a little bit to figure it out, you know, to find their groove. But they did it. They got there.
I actually was down at Insomniac Studios like 2 months ago in Burbank, and they announced there that it was the fastest selling Ratchet and Clank game they've ever made. So there will definitely be another one, I'm sure.
Awesome.
Pretty positive on that.
$40 too.
Maybe not a movie though. A movie kind of
Yeah, movie.
because video game movies are awful, and we just can't learn that for whatever reason.
Nah, come on. It's this December. Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed's gonna turn it all around.
Don't even.
If anything, it would have to be the Life is Strange one.
This like weird live action series that they're doing.
We don't need video game movies.
No, we
I
don't.
know.
We know.
They're basically already there. Like
Jake Gyllenhaal though, it's the Division gripping story.
Yeah, he was so good in Prince of Persia, guys.
I wish Jake Gyllenhaal was also the protagonist of the Assassin's Creed movie.
Why
There's
does he keep getting work?
There's like this weird through line of him being the main character of all the Ubisoft movies.
That'd be fine. And they can make like an interconnected universe. Like, okay, sure, do
It's what
that.
they should have done with their video games.
That's dumb enough to work. I like that idea.
So, yeah, but no, they missed it. I mean, what's the guy that's doing Assassin's Creed?
Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, he's good. I'm sure
Sure.
he looks super bored in that movie, but I'm sure
Yeah, because it's gonna be boring. Because, well,
because it's an Assassin's Creed movie.
I mean, I don't want to get like inflammatory here. We're talking about a series that literally has no ending. Like they don't have a planned ending. They've said that they do. They clearly do not because those things keep making money, so they just keep shanking them out.
Yeah,
I
Egypt. They'll figure it out. They're gonna do it. One last ride.
That'll just be Prince of Persia.
So somebody who's watching right now just texted me and said I had 6 of them. In regards to wisdom teeth, as I quickly learned when he said
Oof.
they had to break my jaw under the gums. No,
Oh,
I'm
what?
stop reading. I'm stopping reading.
No,
That's the worst.
Oh
thing.
yeah.
please.
Do your wisdom teeth have to come out? Have to come out?
Me, yes.
Yeah, you're gonna have problems.
Oh God, why would you say that?
Well, okay, so like, so how it works is that if you don't need your wisdom teeth pulled,
Yeah.
it's very easy.
Okay. Of course.
However, if your wisdom teeth grow in wrong, as in they will not grow in, and if they start to actually grow in, if you wait that long, then you're going to have problems, especially the longer you wait.
Yeah, I know. That's what everyone keeps telling me. The longer I wait, the worse it gets. But I finally have dental again, so
Right.
I can get it done. I just got to do it. Since Cassie, since you're not gonna be here for the whole show, we do have like kind of like an open question forum for people to tweet in questions,
Sure.
which we typically read towards the end of the show. But this one is directed more towards you.
Okay.
And we'll just do it here in the bonus content because why not?
Sure.
George Cruz, who's one of the writers we have for our site, he said, "How do you keep a creative mindset? Also, while I only listened to the last episode of Freelance Game, I found it really inspiring."
Oh, thank you. I missed that show.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had the time to keep it going. Creative mindset. I mean, I'm going to assume that he means in terms of coming up with pitch ideas.
Yeah.
That is, when you find out, George, you let me know. No, I
Yeah.
mean, I had it explained to me once that, and I don't remember who said this. Now I feel terrible because I want to credit them, but they basically told me like just try to connect everything to what you're writing about. So, and it kind of became a fun exercise of like I would look at like a car and be like, all right, car, how does that tie into what I write about? You know, and then you sort of spin out a million ideas, and eventually something sticks. The one that was my favorite actually came from a really stupid portmanteau that I thought up, where I was like, 'cause I'm a huge dog nerd. I love dogs so much, and I came up with the really stupid word developets, like instead of developers. And I was like, oh man. And so that eventually spun out into a feature I did for Joystick when they were still around about a handful of indie developers and their pets and how their pets influence development.
Mm-hmm.
For me, like I tend to keep a little, like I have like a little folder on my phone where if I have some sort of idea that pops up, I just write it down immediately, or else they fade real quick.
Yeah.
That's just how my mindset works. I also like I have I have to like have a cleansing of my desk like once a month because I get post-it notes everywhere that just have little random ideas on them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that tends to be it for me. I also am very lucky where I have cool editors that I can kind of talk to and I have a good rapport with that will help me sort of workshop ideas as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing that I always tell people too is just read like crazy. Pick up on what other people are doing, kind of take down their ideas and look at it and try to recognize those things in your own work too. Like, I think the better you can get at that, the better you'll be in terms of coming up with new ideas for stuff.
Yeah, that's good advice. I'm just like a crazy person who writes every day.
Sure, that helps too. That
Yeah.
really does.
It does, like, you know, the just to touch on, I've talked to George a little bit, but yeah, it's like that muscle, you know, that whole idea of writing every day that don't break the chain thing. It is like really, I look forward to at this point like what I'm going to write that day, and sometimes I'll get things ready for it, and it also helps that I know I don't have to write everything in one day, right? Like when I wrote my essay recently, that a few folks dug, so like my process has gone more from like I need to get all this out on the page, or like to I can write this and I have an idea of what I'm gonna write tomorrow, but like coming at it with fresh eyes with a little bit of space
Sure.
does help a lot.
There is something very powerful in being able to, and this is something I've always had a hard time articulating, but being in tune with your own thoughts enough to recognize when something kind of presses a button in you. So, for example, I went down to Redwood City to see the Battlefield 1 reveal this year, and I remember sitting in the theater and watching the trailer for it, and like the whole thing just struck me as kind of gross because World War One was such a really horrible, awful, bloody war, and it's kind of a chapter in human history that we want to skip over because it was so awful.
Yeah.
And then to see it kind of used as like a backdrop for a game, like just felt so weird to me. And like, whether or not you agree with that, totally fine. But being able to kind of pay attention to those things and realize what makes you tick will also help you come up with new ideas for things, because that gives you a unique angle right there.
Yeah, I really like the idea, and a few people have told me this, of like leaning into what you don't like and leaning into what you do like. Like,
oh yeah,
both the extremes are always going to result in something that you're more passionate about.
And always have a curious mind too. Like, don't rush to judgment on something. Like, kind of go into it and see. So a friend of mine, Stephen Messner, he's a contributing editor at PC Gamer now. He he wrote this really awesome feature where he went and spent, it was just like a few hours in this like erotic roleplay server for Neverwinter Nights.
Oh my god.
I know, and he went into it. It was really interesting because he went into it expecting it to just like I think he was kind of trying to write like a comedy piece. Like he was just like basically gonna like do Monster Factory and just go in there and just like laugh at it. But he ended up having like a really weird transformative experience in it. And it was because he put aside enough of his judgment to the point where he genuinely was like kind of touched by the experience, and not in a dirty way. But yeah, so I mean, I think there's also that too. It's sort of keeping your mind open and just be willing to listen to new ideas and new experiences and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
It's a really excellent piece. I don't remember what it's called now. I think it was
PC Gamer.
No, I think it was from Rock Paper Shotgun actually.
Okay.
I'll see if I can link it. Find it. It's really good.
Yeah, I need to read that. Like, see, that's such a good idea. That reminds me of the one piece about like going into EverQuest. The ghost town that is EverQuest now.
Oh, was that Mike Martin? Did he write that?
No, that was David, whose last name I can never pronounce.
Jagno?
Yeah, Jagno. That makes so much sense now.
We don't talk about him.
And his adorable corgi.
Oh my gosh.
That goddamn dog.
So he apparently lives like an hour away from me, and I'm just gonna go break into his house and steal her. I don't even care that I'm saying that publicly. She's so cute.
I had like sent him a message saying like, "Hey, I just want to let you know every time you post a picture of your dog, it really cheers me up." And they just sent me 4 back-to-back pictures of
I have pictures of his dog saved on my phone. Yeah. I don't know. I don't care how creepy that is.
I think he likes it too. Like he
knows it. Oh, he knows that I do. I've told him before.
Yeah. Let's start the real show. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Let's get this bad boy rolling. Scott, you ready to start recording?
I'm ready to start recording.
Okay. Cassie, you good?
I am so good.
So I'm gonna count down from 5 to 1, and on 1, we'll hit record together.
Okay.
That should work. All things considered, it's worked for us for long enough. So,
cool.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nailed it. Yes. Let me get another tweet out there, and then we have another question. But I figure we'll start. We'll go right into it.
Okay.
Cool. You good? Do you need to get a glass of water or anything? You're only gonna be here for like
totally fine.
Yeah. Do you have like a specific time that you want to piece out of here?
45 probably.
8:45. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nabashin said he's still updating his computer. I told him that we're gonna start recording.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, he'll hop in whenever he gets going. All right, let's do this. It is Saturday, August 6th, 2016, and you are listening to the Irrational Passions podcast. I'm your host, Alex O'Neill, and with me this week, Scott Gauthier.
Hey.
Hi, Scott. For now, it's just you and me and our special guest, Cassidee Moser.
Greetings
Hi.
from sunny California. Now, I do have to correct you
Okay.
off the bat here.
Okay, I messed up. I knew.
It's Moser.
Is it Moser? Yeah.
Everybody does that. Don't
I
worry.
don't want to ask because, that's the weird thing about, internet stuff is, I read this name 1,000 times. No idea how to say it, so I'm just going to wing it.
It's super cool. No worries. Everybody does it all the time.
Yeah.
You got my first name right. I have been called Cassidee more times than I... That is a thing that has happened.
I mean, Cassidee actually... That's
No,
really cool.
it doesn't make sense. Don't rationalize it.
No, I can call you Cassidee if you prefer.
That would be like me calling you Alex, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Alex.
No.
Alex 1 ill. That's a thing that's happened. So.
Fair enough.
Cassie, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You are from the internet, the whole. You do so much on the internet.
I am the internet.
Yeah.
I'm sure good.
Here's the one thing, and I've been trying to get you, the collective has been trying to get you on this show for a while. Because Michael Martin came on the show and he said you shouldn't have her on. I'm like, okay, cool, so we gotta have her on.
No,
sure.
he's trash. We don't talk about him
either. That's fine. Yeah, I'm not necessarily. He's very mean to me, but so I think what makes you the most special is you actually understand Snapchat. You are the best equipped to discuss Snapchat than anyone that we've had on the show. I will have you know.
Here's the thing. I have a Snapchat account.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to use Snapchat. I really don't and a significant portion of my earnings comes from working on Snapchat stuff. I have no idea. I've never sent a snap in my life. I have people all the time that are trying to add me and stuff, and I'm like, sure, you can add me. I don't do anything on it. Basically, my Snapchat account is the IGN Discover account. That's the only one that I interact with.
So, what's it like making professional Snapchat content? Which I know sounds crazy, but
honestly, it's not. So what I end up doing most of the time is I format and I upload. So basically, any article that you see that has any text, I put in there. It's a lot of kind of copying, pasting, making it look good on mobile, adding in photos, stuff like that. And then I'm the one that sort of drags in and uploads all the video clips that you see in the top snaps and the bottom snaps and stuff. But I'll occasionally do written pieces for it, which I weirdly super love Snapchat.
Yeah.
And doing the work on there. I've done some really dumb things on there before. For Valentine's Day, I teamed up with a friend of mine, and we did video game dating sites where we had Sonic the Hedgehog had his dating profile up and Kratos, and it was really stupid, but it was perfect for that platform.
Sonic the Hedgehog, a little rough on his luck, He's just out there looking for a special someone.
You know what? I have it in here somewhere. It said basically, if you want to get down with Sonic, you have to be cool with having really creepy art of yourself on DeviantArt. Yeah,
that's super true.
Yeah, it was fun. That's why that platform is so much fun. Is because it's a different kind of content. Mm-hmm. It's not you can't get away with a 20-minute video on there. It's short and it's brief, and that's what makes it really good.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do like it, and the IGN Snapchat stuff is awesome. So
yeah, they do a great job.
I'm curious, just as inside baseball curious,
Hmm?
How do you upload stuff to Snapchat? Do you have a website that you can access? So a super version of Snapchat that has developer tools or whatever?
We have a CMS. We have a content management system for Snapchat that I obviously have access to. And then a lot of the stuff just gets placed in a Google Drive that's shared by everybody on the team.
Yeah.
And then I just go in through there, and then the CMS itself is actually super easy to use. It's literally just drag and drop for most of it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's what I do is very kind of straightforward, but I really enjoy it. Probably because it's so different from everything else that I do. It's just kind of a nice mental break.
Yeah, Snapchat's cool. It's
really
cool how it's
interesting.
been turned into this big like media consuming portal.
Well,
I'd
it's
say.
kind of like Vine, right? Like there was a comedian I remember that was talking about Vine videos and how they are a different art form unto themselves because you have 7 seconds to tell a joke,
Yeah,
and that's hard to do.
yeah,
But I mean, creativity spawns from restrictions, and that's why I think it's such a cool thing.
yeah. It. I can say definitively, Snapchat is better than Instagram stories. This garbage.
I haven't really tinkered with Instagram stories. I honestly like I'm like 27 going on 80 sometimes because I only have so much time in my life for certain social media outlets. Like I'm on Twitter way too much as it is. I
Yeah.
hate Facebook, but I'm on there too.
Yep.
Mostly because that's how like grandparents talk to me. But like I used to have an Instagram and it was mostly just like food that I ate, and I'm like I have reached peak white girl, and I don't want to keep going down this road. So I honestly haven't seen much of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like now you can look at picture. I don't know how it works. I
Yeah.
also don't understand Instagram of the social media platforms. I just don't get it.
Eh.
Um.
So that's Pinterest for me.
Yeah. Well, phew, Pinterest. That's a whole other conversation. That's for crazy people, as far as I've heard. Um. What do you do on the internet? What is all the stuff that you put out there? Because it's definitely a whole lot.
So right now I am a contributing editor for ShackNews.com.
Hmm.
I do mostly features for them, occasionally reviews and previews as well. A lot of previews actually. I travel a lot for them. I also do, I do a lot of features for IGN pretty regularly. I do reviews for GameSpot. I am gonna have a piece going up on Gama Sutra very soon.
Cool.
Basically, whoever pays me, I do work for. It's freelancing.
The freelancer.
Yeah, it's that
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. And you also have your own podcast, correct?
I do have my own podcast. It's a dumb thing, but we have a lot of fun with it. It's called Super Jump Radio, and it's just the geek culture podcast. So it's my friend Aaron and I are the ones that do it. We've been podcasting together for like 3.5 years. Like he's a really old good friend of mine,
Mhm.
and we were doing it for one website that we both worked for a while, and then that went under. So we spun it out, and like we just decided to spin it so that it was everything. So it's games, movies, comics, TV. We've talked about like tax returns and shit before. Like it's just sort of
Ah,
whatever we want to.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. I know
Yeah, no problem, man.
you're also like launching something this weekend.
Maybe.
Uh, maybe.
Yeah, I feel so like bad because I'm so candid about it. But yeah, a friend of mine and I are working on a creative endeavor that we're hoping to have up this weekend.
Mhm. Yeah,
That's
but you won't be here for the whole show for folks listening. I just want to give
I'm
heads
too
up.
important.
Yeah,
Too important, you know.
hot schedules. You're just fitting us in.
I
Pretty
got
much at the end of the road.
I got that limo waiting outside.
He can only wait for so long before he has to get like a Red Bull or something.
It's true. It's true.
Cool. So we're gonna roll through a few things, but since we are getting some questions directed towards you, just for folks who didn't listen to the bonus content, we might take those if they have any specific questions for the freelance master over here, freelance guru.
Tough.
Let me see. We did have one from Cameron Abbott at Unsexiest Comedy. He just was saying he was the guy that texted me about this terrible break my jaw story. And he said the rest of my text was about how I was enjoying Moser. Did I do it right that time?
Yeah, that was it. That was spot on.
All right, cool.
I didn't even
she's
notice
cool, and I'm digging her on the show. Query, who's the nicest editor?
The nicest editor.
You don't have to name drop if you don't want to.
Ugh. I mean, I like everybody. Like honestly, I have yet to really run into an asshole editor, which I'm really grateful for. Peter Brown at GameSpot's a total sweetheart. He's really great to work with.
Yeah.
Dan Stapleton's great to work with. He just eviscerates my writing every time, and I kind of love it.
Yeah.
I always learn something from that guy, which is really cool. Susan Arndt is really cool too. She can be kind of abrasive because she's very blunt,
Yeah.
but she's a great person. She's a really great editor to work with.
Yeah. I met her for the first time at PAX East.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, she's super awesome.
Yeah, I like her a lot.
Yeah, the good callouts. Peter Brown was on the Giant Bombcast this week, correct?
He was, yeah.
Yeah, so there you can get a little Peter Brown in your life this week. I'm just gonna run through some housekeeping stuff real quick here. and then we'll kind of get in and start talking about some video games, because I'm sure we got video games to talk about.
No.
Plenty of stuff going up on the irrationalpassions.com, or irrational passions. There's no "the" there. I don't know why I said that. A lot of cool stuff. The art of the video game, about paintings. This is a new column. I can't. Oh, I feel again. This is a situation where you read a name and you're like, I don't know if I can say this out loud. Yusef, and I can't. I'm just gonna. I can't say his last name, but it's spelled Maguid. So I'm not gonna even like try and ballpark that. But he's written for like Killscreen, and there's one other website. I can't name it off the top of my head. He's a freelance writer. He wrote this piece. It's very, very cool. I'm very happy with it. And he's going to talk about kind of other art forms as well. But basically, he relates to playing a video game and losing yourself in that world to looking at a painting and losing yourself in that world. It's very cool. He references a lot of great paintings in that piece as well and links to them. The art of the video game painting is what it's called on the site. It's worth checking out. Elliot Altland, he wrote something about gaming's greatest weaknesses. I talked about that on last week's podcast. And Logan Wilkinson wrote about Naughty Dog and their kind of storytelling style, basically focusing in on the quiet moments that Naughty Dog does in their games. So all of these three pieces up on this site, irrationalpassions.com, this past week. Very cool. I'm very happy with all of them. Big thank you to our regular contributors. There's more stuff coming too. I wrote a review for Batman the Telltale series, episode 1, which I'm sure we will talk about at some point tonight. And I liked it quite a bit. And thank you to everyone who bought our shirt and took pictures in it, took selfies in it, and posted it on Twitter. That was super awesome. It was super nice to see that everyone got them. They look all right. And yeah, thank you all so much. We really appreciate it. It helps support the show. And we love all of you listening out there. And also, I mentioned in the bonus content, but I just happen to be on an OC Rewatch podcast now called The Bro C. So thebro-c.com if you want to go consume if you are a fan of teenage drama and want to rewatch the OC with a couple of chuckle fucks, then that is totally a thing that you can do now. And I think that's it. So let's talk about some video games. Cassidee, do you play video games?
I just play games to get guys. That's the only reason I do anything.
What video games do you play to get guys? Of course, only under that pretense.
I actually saw 2 games this week that were pretty cool.
Okay.
I had a Devolver Digital appointment, and I played Mother Russia Bleeds and Oklos.
Mother Russia Bleeds. I feel like I've seen this before.
Yeah, they've it's been announced for a little while. I think it actually comes out very soon. It's within the next few weeks. I don't remember the date off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'll figure it out. No worries.
Yeah, it's fine. No, Mother Russia Bleeds is really messed up, but it's really cool. It is. I have described it as if Doom and like less awful Duke Nukem had like a weird thing with like the Cold War. And that spun out from Metro, and then they decided to make a Double Dragon style beat 'em up. Then that's basically what Mother Russia Bleeds is.
Whoa, that's a whole lot of things right there.
Yeah, it is. So it is a side-scrolling beat 'em up in the style of Double Dragon, kind of Scott Pilgrim-ish, if you want a more modern reference. But you play as one of, I believe it's 4 characters, and you wake up in this like facility because it is very clearly like a really grungy, awful medical testing facility. And as you're walking, like the first thing you do when you stand up and your characters are kind of taking stock of the thing is you choose a drug that you're going to have with you for the whole game.
Okay.
We only did one. I don't know what the name of it was. It was just sort of like a green vial. And basically what happens is you use that to either heal yourself or to put yourself into berserk mode, where you do extra damage and you move a lot faster.
Yeah, and apparently you can just crush heads between your hands, it looks like.
Yes, so there's like glory kill type really brutal stuff like that. Yeah, so you start fighting like scientists and stuff at the very beginning, and then your enemies kind of gradually get more difficult and have different fight patterns and stuff. But the part that was so disgusting, the only way to refill your drug gauge is to basically take it from the blood of your enemies.
Nice.
So there will be a downed corpse that will be twitching, and so you walk up to it, and it just has the most horrific sound effect, just like.
Oh. Speaking of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, huh?
Yeah, so you get that syringe down in there and you just suck it up. It's so gross, but it's so great. I love that kind of stuff, and it's just hilariously, disgustingly gory and weird and twisted, and just has the perfect sense of humor about itself to the point where it's bearable.
Yeah.
Because if it played it totally straight, it would be just, I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah. That's pretty good. I mean, like, there's definitely a room for the super gory, over the top beat 'em up.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. It's great. It's gonna fill a really good niche. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. They also are doing couch co-op and online co-op, which is really cool. So, Mother Russia, please. It's really messed up, and like what I really appreciate about it too, I'm a stickler for details. And there's kind of like a really weird undercurrent of madness throughout that entire thing. And it's just evident in everything from like the backgrounds to the characters themselves. Like there's this one guy, Boris, that just sort of walks around sort of hunched over like a monkey, and he like occasionally will just turn and grin like evilly at the camera, and then he'll just like keep walking, and it's so great. Like it has so much personality, and I really, really liked it.
Is it set like in the Cold War era?
Yeah. So that's why, I should say, yeah. That's what it struck me as kind of like a Cold War era.
Yeah, I just saw, like, I was looking at pictures, screenshots, and it's just like a giant skeleton man sitting on a throne with like gold teeth. I'm like, all right, this seems okay. It's probably not bad.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, that sounds okay. I've never been like super into beat 'em ups. Scott Pilgrim was definitely the epitome of that for me. But I like the style. The look of this is real cool.
Yeah, I'm not huge into beat 'em ups, but I like games with personality, and that definitely was doing that for me.
What else have you been playing?
The other one that I saw was Oklos, which could not be more different from Mother Russia Bleeds. And it was funny because we did these back to back. So Oklos is weird. It's kind of hard to explain. Basically, it is a twin stick shooter, but you don't actually shoot anything. You just use your two different sticks to kind of control two different aspects. Okay. So it takes place in ancient Greece. The idea is that the people of Greece are mad at the gods and they want to get rid of the gods. They've just kind of had it.
Sure.
So what ends up happening is you get this philosopher that you choose from the start, and they're mostly philosophers that existed at one point. So like Plato was in there, and like Aristotle, and Oedipus was in there, even though he wasn't a philosopher, but they had a really great card about him having awkward family get-togethers, which was great. And so you steer this philosopher around, and you collect people, and the more people you collect, the bigger you start to get this crowd that's following you, and you start to just destroy everything. And the more stuff you destroy, the more the crowd goes into this angry rage, and the more the bigger things you can break. So like you start off with just trees and really basic sentry guards and just like really simple structures, and eventually you get to the point where you're just tearing down buildings, and you're working your way toward the end boss, who's one of the gods, right? And it's all procedurally generated. It's got its own little sense of humor too, just like a Devolver game. I mean, they're really good at picking these types of things, but yeah, it was really cool. Like it worked really well. You pick up different classes of people, so like you'll get warriors, you'll get heroes, you get slaves, or like your real basic unit that can actually carry items and stuff that you can use to heal yourself or use as a buff in battle. And you just walk around just inciting a riot and taking the fight to the gods, basically, in this whole game. It's really neat.
What does the right stick like do? Do you like have to aim that at a thing for them to just assault?
Yeah, so they follow you. So you control the philosopher with the left stick, and they will automatically follow the philosopher. You're kind of tethered. And then you use the
Pikmin.
Kind of. Yes,
it's like when you use the C stick and
sounds
Pikmin
fantastic.
and just swarm things.
It's political Pikmin.
It's political Pikmin.
Yeah, kind of. So you the right stick kind of controls a reticle that you can attack by holding down the right trigger, so you can like kind of point to a spot and have people just bum rush it and destroy it.
Okay.
There's also a button to disperse the crowd and kind of get them to spread out, which you want to do if they get poisoned or if they get sick, because that will like kind of go from, it's communicable, so it'll go from everybody and kill off all your people. And you can also block collectively as a group.
Okay.
So like if a boss is really starting to wind up to hit you, like you can kind of hit that block button and you'll take less damage. It's pretty straightforward. The reason I say it's weird is because it's like a really strange mix of a bunch of different types of games, but it works really nicely.
Yeah, that's awesome. It does sound pretty good.
It's
I'm
fun.
getting mad Pikmin vibes. And Scott, obviously, the Pikmin fan over here.
Yeah. I mean, check it out.
Yeah,
I don't have a ton of experience with Pikmin, so I skipped the game.
in the early ones, like on the GameCube, you could kind of like aim the C stick and just move your crowd around, and they would just start jumping on stuff if you did
Oh,
that.
sure. Yeah, it's kind of like that.
That's cool. When does that one come out?
Oh, Close comes out on PC on the 18th of this month.
Oh, cool. That's
Yes,
right
that
around
one I
the
have off the top of my head.
corner. Yeah. And anything else you've been playing?
I mean, a lot of
Outside
Overwatch.
of visiting developers, being all cool and stuff.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I mean, if you want to know about Civ 6, I've played a lot of that too. I'm not a huge Civ person, but like I
Okay.
can probably speak basically about it.
I'm real excited for Civ 6.
It's a cool game.
Is it like
It's-
Civ 5? I don't know if
Yep.
you've played much of that.
I have played a decent amount of Civ 5. Played several hours of it.
I played
Yeah,
an unhealthy amount of Civ 5.
it's a good game.
Yeah.
Civ 6, from the people that I have spoken to who are huge Civ fans, they're more than happy with Civ 6.
Okay.
So
My-
it's good.
My only worry or question with Civ 6 is, does it feel like it's at the place where Civ 5 was after both of its expansions?
In terms of,
Like they added a lot of economy management in the second expansion to Civ 5 that made it like way more enticing to keep going, and yeah, they just added like everything all around in that first expansion. Like you could manage your trade routes, and you could manage specific like incoming and outgoing money and sources in like the Brave New World expansion, which made playing Civ 5 like so much like a much better experience.
that is definitely in there.
Okay.
Their big thing this time is creating districts, and so they call it unstacking the cities. And so
Yeah.
you'll have like a district for the arts and a district for the military and stuff, and it's a little more manageable, I think. It kind of reminded me of like Rise of Nations in that way, although
Okay.
Rise of Nations isn't nearly as deep. But yeah, it's cool. I have enjoyed the time I've put with it. Like I said, I'm not a huge 4X person.
Mhm.
The reason I ended up seeing it is because I'm the only Shack News person on the West Coast.
Okay. Fair enough.
But yeah, it's cool.
Are there still hexes?
Yes,
Okay. That's
more or
really-
less.
That's really all that matters.
I think so.
Yeah. The ones with 6 sides.
I am miserable at math and geometry.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
it has a grid per se. So yeah.
Oh, this is an important question that just
Mm.
came in. Cameron Abbott again said, Civ 6 favorite leader. Have they put Sean Bean's voice for the tech tree yet? How dickish are city states? These are very important questions.
I don't recall hearing Sean Bean,
Oh,
but they do have their leaders are cool though. They've done some neat things with them.
I do want to know, like, if Sean Bean is the voice of the tech tree, does the tech tree die at the end? This is a really important question. 'Cause
Probably at the beginning if it's like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, true enough. Like
No, I
you
don't know.
get through the first arc, get to the modern era, maybe he just
I
dies.
honestly don't remember a lot about the voiceover in that game.
Yeah. How dickish are the city states? Are they super like, man? I feel like this one city state should not be as like commandeering of the world as it is.
Well, they've kind of balanced it where they give all the leaders their own little hidden agendas.
Okay,
I don't know if you've heard of these.
I'm not familiar. Yeah.
So yeah, so you have like everybody has this like a hidden agenda
Mm-hmm.
that they're trying to do, and there are certain things that different leaders will look upon favorably and unfavorably. So like Pedro from Brazil wants great, what's the word for it? Great people. I don't know. Basically, it's like the really famous artists or
He's building a
inventors.
human zoo.
Exactly. Yeah. And so if you start to enlist like great people, like he gets really annoyed with you and can turn antagonistic toward you. So like they'll do little things like that, and like every leader has like their own little bonus. So like I was it Catherine de Medici from France. She has this thing where she has people who are planted in all the different city-states around the world.
Ooh.
And so she'll kind of like, if you play as her, then you get like little gossipy updates from people where it's like, oh, this dude's building a wonder, or this girl's like, she's got a couple new trade routes and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, they've done a lot to add some personality to it, which is really neat.
All right.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm excited. Because like I came in to Civ at 5, so now I have something to be excited about.
Everything that I've heard about it, I think people who are big Civ 5 fans are going to be pretty happy with it.
Good.
Yeah.
Let's have that conversation about Overwatch.
Oh man, Overwatch is so good.
It's so good.
I finally got play of the game last week.
Oh, you never gotten to play the game before?
No. So
What?
I've only been playing it for like 2 weeks maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, and I finally got it with Diva, and like that's one of my crowning achievements. I'm gonna put that on my resume.
Yeah. Do you
Felt
play
so
on
good.
PC, PS4?
I play on PS4.
Okay.
My brother has it on PC as well, so I have played it on there, and I wish I could play it on PC, but my PC won't run it.
Yeah.
Eh.
I play a whole lot on PS4, so if you ever need a PS4 buddy, I got you covered.
Hell yeah. I have like genuinely been looking for people to play with.
Yeah, I have like constantly so many people that are playing that game, so I could definitely, we could get a full party together.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
That's like one of few games, is like our weekly Overwatch update. It's one of few games that I like almost play every day at this point. Which,
Well, it works. It's so digestible. That's kind of
Yeah.
the nice thing of it. It's kind of like Splatoon in that way. Like
Yeah.
you can jump in for a round of Overwatch and it won't totally kill you.
yeah,
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm a big fan. So what characters do you gravitate towards? We got Diva. Who
Diva.
else? Just Diva.
76.
Okay.
I have been trying to get better at Tracer because I really want to.
Yeah, I've finally gotten pretty good with Tracer, and it's good. It's good.
She's tough, man.
Yeah.
That's a tricky one to do. Anna, actually, I actually really like playing as her.
Okay. I can't really play snipers at all.
I normally don't, but there's something about a healing sniper that really entices me for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean that's kind of it for now. I'm still kind of playing around.
You're easing into it.
Yeah.
So there's no defenders on that list. I will say, Junkrat, real good. I'm gonna let you know.
Creeps me out though.
He does. He's super creepy. But like the nice thing about Junkrat, and we've talked about it a lot on this show, is he has just so many tools. He's kind of like Ana in that way.
Oh yeah.
He has like a wide range of things he can do at any given time, and because of that, and because like his attack method is so indirect, you can like bank shots off walls and stuff like that.
I've been killed by him plenty of times. I know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's definitely super popular. The one thing about Tracer is once you kind of get a feel for like dodging left and right and back, and not just like using her jump to go forward,
Right.
that's when it all clicked for me. And,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
hunting down Bastion, always hunting down Bastion and ruining him.
It's that, and it's the rewind too. I always forget that I have that rewind.
Yeah,
She can basically heal herself by just going backwards.
yeah, and I that's the one thing I forget to do most of the time. The most, I guess, it's very elusive though, because when you rewind, you just disappear for people looking at you, but for you, you see something completely different.
Yeah.
So that's definitely tricky to kind of get a feel for.
That, and I keep killing myself. I keep, like, I will run up along a ledge and like suddenly dash back and just fall off. I'm like, ah, cool, okay.
Yeah. Spatial awareness is super important for sure.
Yeah.
But
It's fun though. I like it a lot.
big update for Overwatch this week is we got Lucio Ball Summer Games. It's on. Scott, have you played any Overwatch this
Lucio
week at
Ball?
all?
Yeah.
Hey, they were like, hey, you know, it would be a good idea if we put Rocket League in Overwatch.
Is that an official partnership between those two?
No, they just did that,
Yeah, no, that's good.
Alright.
which makes it better. I think. I don't know.
That's kind of crappy.
Yeah, it's very much. It's not as good as Rocket League, so
No, sure.
I can say it's not too bad. But yeah, you can just play 3-on-3 Lucio. Everyone's Lucio, going fast. Gotta go fast. Lucio is the Sonic the Hedgehog of Overwatch characters.
Yeah, you see how cocky Lucio is too?
Yeah. I'm not like a big Lucio fan. I know plenty of people that do like him. But yeah, Lucio Ball. Did you play any of this, Cassidy?
No, I'm not. I respect Rocket League from a distance, but I'm not huge into it. I
Yeah.
just want to play the shooter part.
Um,
That's all I care about.
it's not like great. um,
Hmm.
I played a couple rounds of it and I didn't have too much fun. I don't know if you managed to have any success in Lucio Ball, Scott.
Success, yes. Fun, not so much.
Fair enough. Though, like the one game that I remember, it was like we were up by one. It was like 2-1, or it was like 1-1. I don't know. And they just shot it all the way across the entire map into our goal and won in literally the last second. Like it went in and it said defeat. I'm like, oh god damn it. So I don't know, Lucio Ball. If you like Rocket League, maybe you should just play Rocket League and not play Lucio Ball.
I mean, it's a fun diversion, I
It's
guess.
cool. It's a cool idea, and I really like. So I imagine because they change the brawl every week. I imagine there will be for the 3 weeks that they're doing this 2 other things
Mm.
for the next 2 weeks as well. That so it's not just Lucio Ball for 3 weeks in a row. Which would be really cool to see that. I do like the whole summer games thing. Like, hey, we have all these special skins that you can get for this time period, and if you want, you can buy a whole bunch of summer games loot boxes.
I like it because it suggests to me that they're going to be doing more tie-in stuff in the future.
Exactly,
Which
yeah.
makes me really happy.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. Like you can get a victory pose where you're holding up a gold medal, which
Mhm.
is that's a cool thing. And yeah, some of the characters have special skins for that. I really want like the Tracer,
I want Tracers so bad.
that running skin.
And I got who was it? I think it was Roadhogs, and I was like, ugh, I'm never gonna use this.
I didn't even remember what his looks like. I think he looks real happy in it though.
Whatever.
He always
Roadhogs
looks like he's
gross.
having a good time though.
Oh man.
I was disappointed that Mercy skin is just like a red skin. It's not
I
like
like
one of the
McCready's
epic
because he's
ones.
basically just wrapping himself in a flag.
Hell yeah, he is.
Looks
He
like he's
looks
straight
so
out of a Trump
American.
rally. That's pretty
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, it's cool because like there is like a very diverse cast in Overwatch
Mhm.
of diverse nationality.
Oh yeah,
So they're kind of leaning into that as well.
as they
Uh,
should. It's
yeah,
cool.
which is like you I don't typically think of like, yeah, I'm playing like this Japanese character or this Japanese hero in Overwatch, but there is a little bit of that patriotism with this update, which I think is actually really cool. So
No,
yeah.
and visually it's cool too. It just gives you different opportunities.
Yeah. Is that all you've been playing, Cassidy?
Yes,
Okay. Cool.
more or less.
I do want to talk about a couple of things.
Uh-oh.
Quantum Break.
Never played it.
Never played it. Never touched it.
I don't have an Xbox One.
I went and played the first act of Quantum Break when it came out. I was like, cool. This seems all right. TV show doesn't seem that great. But I'll give it a shot. Are you okay, Scott? Did you fall?
No, I'm good.
Okay, just checking in.
Totally did fall though.
Okay.
Look, got a
as,
little
long,
comfortable there.
as long as you're okay, that's what really matters.
We suffer for our art.
Yeah, exactly. For my podcast art, let me just
Yeah.
fall asleep on this couch real quick. So I went and I finished Quantum Break. So I went and played through acts 4 through 5, and as well as watched the other 3 episodes of the Quantum Break show, which I think is like what they internally call it. That game's all right.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's super like if I had to lodge one thing against it, it's just super forgettable. Like none of the sci-fi story that they're setting up is very unique or like doesn't linger with me all that much. Except for the stuff that they kind of introduced towards the very end, which always sucks. But like it's a time travel story, and it's cool because the scope of the game is this one day, but like it does deal with time between 1999 and 2021. So like these 22 years, and like these specific events that can be triggered in that timeline, which is really cool. And there are times when you do like go back or go forward in time, and it's very exciting. And those things are always different and feel dynamic in a way that most of like just the standard run and gun shooting of the game isn't. And it plays really well. Like the shooting feels great, I think, except for the fact that you can't hip fire for no particular reason. So you have to always aim to fire, which is weird for a third-person shooter. Um,
How well integrated would you say it is?
what do you mean? Like,
So, like, this has always been one of my issues with the Uncharted games, is
Mhm.
like, it feels like it has combat because it has to, you know? Like,
oh, for sure.
yeah, is it kind of like one of those things where it's
It's
like, well, we
for
have to
sure
have
that.
this in there? Okay.
It's like, about halfway through, it's so weird because the way it's shot, like cinematography wise, like the way it's directed, the camera angles, everything is set up like a very serious thing. Like, Stranger Things, for example, to use like a recent example, like that's
Sure.
shot really, really well, and it's shot like more seriously than like the things that it emulates, like the '80s things that it emulates. But it works, and that kind of juxtaposition, I think, really works for that show in particular. But here, it's like shot and framed very seriously, but it feels and the way they everything works in the game is so like B movie action movie,
Mm.
and it's like
Well, and
it's
that's
jarring.
that's the thing with Uncharted too, right? Like the
Hmm.
joke is that Nathan Drake's a mass murderer
Yeah,
because he just kills hundreds of people, but is like jovial and cracks a smile at the end of it. It's like
yeah,
it is weird. There's a weird balance there, and I think it's weighing out what you're trying to accomplish versus what people will be expecting from it.
yeah. It's the thing about Uncharted. I think it's more consistent, like as far as like the way it looks, right?
Yeah.
Uh, whereas this like kind of breaks from that, and then like Jack Joyce, JJ, your
That's his
main character,
name?
that's his name.
Oh, wow, that's bad.
Jack Joyce, he just like drops like terrible one-liners every now and again. And it
Jack Joyce. That sounds like a guy that'd be reading a newspaper at Starbucks. And not like online, just like an actual
oh, yeah,
newspaper.
like a physical newspaper, but he's like
Yeah.
mid-20s.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
gross. No.
So yeah, it's just super. It feels very confusing, and it does in the same way that Alan Wake did, but
Okay.
like it just doesn't work as well
Sure.
here. Maybe because it's a sci-fi story and not like this kind of thriller. Like Alan Wake had this kind of horror Stephen King vibe,
Yeah.
whereas like this has kind of like it's a terrible comparison, but like the Time Machine movie vibe, which is
Wow.
not a good movie. And like
Oh, wow.
kind of like the problems that come with it. It's better than that, but it's yeah, it same level of like inconsistent and weird.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like they introduced like a whole bunch of ideas towards the end. Like you're fighting against this fracture in time that's making time stop and start rapidly, like increased intervals, and will until the quote unquote end of time at 2021. It's
You have to
2016.
punch time in the face.
Yeah, you have to punch time. It's really funny because there is like this B plot that you find in the collectibles and the environment about like these this guy who works for the company that you're fighting against, Monarch. He is writing this screenplay and he keeps sending emails to one of the scientists trying to get like, hey, did I do the science good in this screenplay I'm writing? And it's like this two-part screenplay, and it's terrible, but it's like it is very much leaning into it, and it honestly, that like little thing relieves a lot of my issues with the plot because they're clearly very aware of it.
That's
About
fun, at least.
Yeah, it's about this guy who finds a knife that's a time knife, and if you get stabbed with the knife, you get sent back in time.
Time knife.
And it's so good.
I kind of love that.
It's so good. And like it's like all these terrible dialogue scenes about this guy stabbing dudes to send them back in time, but then they come back from time. Oh,
Oh,
it's really good. It's worth like looking up that. And the best part, it's three parts. It's just like three series of dialogues. It's part one of the script, part two of the script. Part three, he says, "Hey, I hope it's okay, but I just remortgaged my house so we can make this a thing. And as soon as the Kickstarter campaign goes up, I'm gonna make millions off of this."
oh,
And like that's a
man.
direct quote in the game. Like I love and hate this so much at the same time. So
That's pretty cute.
yeah,
I can appreciate that.
it's like that relieves some of it. Like they start referencing like these creatures that can exist outside of time, basically. That they show, but they don't ever really tell you what's going on, and there are allusions to like a greater threat and a greater problem that's going on. And the approach to time travel in this game is that everything that's happened has happened, and the past is set, but the future is not, right? So
So, like real life.
yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So like it's weird because paradoxes can exist.
Sure.
Because like if you went back in time and you tried to change something, you would find out like, oh, I was the cause of what I was trying to change, or something like that, right? And you would never actually be able to change anything.
So kind of like Fry becoming his own grandpa in Futurama.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
It's like we're self-correcting all of these paradoxes before, so they just can't exist. There's no way to break time in that way, which is cool. It's a cool idea. And towards the end, they start playing around with, well, what if like these people, the two main characters, Paul and Jack, what if their time powers basically make them exempt from that rule? And they start playing around with it, and then the game ends. And it's like, oh, come on, you were so close.
Of course.
And yeah, like these shifter creatures that can only like exist when time freezes, right? So people like Jack who can move when these like freezes and stops in time go, like he can see these monsters basically, and at the end of time, they like rule the world, and they start talking about them towards the end, but they never go there. And I'm like, oh, that's like a really cool idea, and I want to see them go there.
Gotta wait for Quantum Break 2.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever gonna happen. So,
Quantum Broken. Yeah, I don't know.
Quantum, they done broke it.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. It's a cool game. It's worth playing at the very least. But yeah, it's like just all right. I didn't think the final boss was as terrible as everyone made it out to be, though. I will say that there are a lot of thoughts about the final boss, but it was just kind of dumb. It wasn't like super bad. Cassidee, I think we have to let you go.
Do you have any other questions? I've got a few more minutes for questions.
Let me see if we got one. I have one about the Batman Telltale series, which I don't know if you've played.
I have not played that yet. I've heard good things though.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm waiting for Nabishin to get here, and then we'll definitely talk about that. No, the mean city states was the last question.
Okay.
So I think that's gonna end time for this. For folks listening, where can they find more of you on the internet?
I'm on Twitter way too much. Just at Cassidee Moser. Spelled weird. 2 S's, 2 E's.
Yeah.
Moser. Yeah.
Instead of a Y, like a Y would have been.
I tell my mom this every day. It's her fault. Technically it's spelled phonetically, right? So like, it's spelled the way it should be said. But
at least it only has one D. If it had 2 D's, that'd be.
Oh, people have been popping D's, and I actually had like an accent at the end of my name once. Like somebody just like added like a little like French E sort of like.
Cassidee?
Yeah, I was like, it's like I have to congratulate you. I've never seen that. That's pretty good.
Makes you sound super classy though.
I am classy. I'm a classy bitch, but.
Cassidee Moser.
Exactly.
Awesome.
But you can find me on there. I'm always happy to answer freelance questions and stuff on there too. Otherwise, Super Jump Radio.
Yeah, thank you for also being super helpful to me in my freelance struggle that is always ongoing.
Oh, for sure. I genuinely take pleasure in helping people because it's a really messed up and challenging thing to do. So I'm happy to give back in whatever way I can.
Yeah. And you also gave more than enough freelance advice on the freelance game, which is not ongoing, but people can still find those episodes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
so. I haven't looked. We haven't done it for like a year. That was with me and my friend Nathan Mounier. If that thing's still up and going, I don't know if he revoked hosting or whatever on that thing or what, but it should be at freelancegamepodcast.com or just on iTunes. I know it's on there too.
Yeah, that is absolutely one of the most helpful resources out there for freelancers.
It was a fun show. I really enjoyed doing that one.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure. Maybe if we have you on in the future, you're always welcome back, of course. We can get you for a full 20-hour show. I'm pretty sure that's like our standard length.
I would be happy to do that, yeah.
Give or take 3 hours.
Yeah, give or take 3 hours. It depends. Depends if it's extra life or not. But yeah, thank you so much. And Yeah, you have a good one, I guess, and then you
Thank
can
you.
stop recording.
Sounds good.
It's super weird, like when we keep going, and then people will be able to see this, and then yeah. If you want, you can stop recording, and then you can, if you can export it as an MP3 and share it with me on Google Drive, that would be ideal.
Will do.
Do you have my Gmail? You should.
Yeah, it's just the one that you sent to me earlier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're all set.
Brad.
You're
I
you're free to
will.
go. You can go be important on the internet. Hop in that limo. Don't make
That's
me
right.
wait for too long.
The internet limo.
But yeah, thank you so much. This has been awesome.
Yeah, thank you, man. It's been a lot of fun. I'd be happy to do it again. You just let me know when.
Absolutely. And yeah, you have a good night. All right.
Thanks, you too.
Bye. And then wave.
Bye.
Then there was just Scott and Alex.
Oh man, time to crunch this shit out.
I want to see if Nabishin, we can get Nabishin in here. So I think he might
Yeah,
be.
you should be good.
I hope. God, if he's still updating stuff, I feel for him. Thank you everyone listening for all the good questions for Cassidee. We only got a few, but I really appreciate it. He's in the Google Doc, but he might be on there on his phone. Oh, there it is.
78%.
78%? What?
It's 78% on his update.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So yeah, are you ready to talk about Dark Souls?
Yeah, let's talk about Dark Souls, Scott. Let's jump over to your games.
All right. So like I've been playing like the important game
Okay.
called Dark Souls 3.
Okay, fair enough. And
All right, and let's see. Where did we leave off?
you
last
made
time?
progress. Last
made
time
progress.
you were in the Cathedral of the Deep.
Right, and I
deacons.
haven't even. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I figured out how to beat that boss.
Yep.
And this, yeah. Right now, okay. So I had the ultra or the regular greatsword. It's
Yeah.
an ultra greatsword, and it's called greatsword, and that bugs me all the day,
Yeah.
all day, because it's the only weapon I use.
Fair. I mean, like, listen, Scott. At some point, you're gonna have to let this go.
Yeah, it doesn't really bother me that much. It's just, every time I see it, which is actually not that often, because I never change my sword.
Mm-hmm.
Never do it.
Yeah, I know. You're like me. You find the thing that you like and you stick with it.
Or like the 3, but like
Yeah.
I never read it.
Yeah. Of course not.
So
Why-
yeah,
Who has time for that
is
garbage,
I
though?
stopped. All I did for that fight is I stomped,
Uh-huh.
and then I scattered them,
Okay.
so they were no longer bunched up, and then I started whacking.
Killed this. So the deacons
Yep.
dead and gone. I'll tell you, like,
So
when I played through and I beat the deacons, right, and that's the end of the cathedral. I was like, where the fuck do I go? Because I didn't find the other path first. Like the other path from the crystal sage first. So I thought the deacons, like the cathedral, was like the way to go, like the path A, you could say.
right.
It's not. Tony had to tell me what to do at that point.
Oh yeah, no, that's funny.
Yeah, I didn't even get to like the swampy area at all.
hmm
I had to go back, go through that. I'm like, ooh, this place. But yeah. So you going back? What's the next place?
The next place would be the swampy Fair and Keep. This is where you fight the first Abyss Watcher.
Yeah, the Abyss Watchers. They're fun. They're a fun crew.
They're a fantastically fun crew.
Yeah. That's a good
PvP
boss
all
fight.
day, every day.
Yeah. Do you have trouble with them?
A little bit.
Okay. That remind me a lot of. It was a very Bloodborne fight, I'll say, especially like visually. The way those guys looked, their weapon, and especially like when they go super Saiyan, when they ember themselves at the end, and you're just fighting the one with the flame sword. Got tons of Lady Maria vibes from that, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, so he was pretty difficult. Actually, one of the tougher fights that I fought so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a super rewarding boss fight.
Especially when you get a sword.
Yeah.
If you choose the other one, you're just wrong.
Yeah, you're just stupid. It's like what?
Like forgo stupid. You're just wrong.
You're full on wrong.
Full on wrong.
Your stupidity is epitomized in wrongness. Yeah, so that's a cool fight. And then yeah, you can get boss weapons after that fight.
Right, which you get there's 2 weapons you get. There's this there's the Wolf Greatsword, which is just a standard greatsword,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe it's a standard Ultra Greatsword. I'm pretty sure it's just a standard greatsword.
Still unclear on the ultra greatsword versus regular greatsword debate, but we'll figure it out.
Right. So,
Okay.
and it is, for people who don't know, it's a regular greatsword, like a claymore.
Uh-huh.
That's about, I'd say 30% or so longer, with
Okay.
a parry dagger as its two-handed
Accompaniment. Yeah,
a two-handed accompaniment.
yeah.
And what's special about this weapon is when you two-hand, you can parry
Yes.
because you're essentially dual wielding,
Yeah.
and you have a very, very special L1 ability, which is no longer a block.
Yeah.
Which is if you didn't notice, you swing with your dagger, you plant it in the ground, and you swing around.
Yeah.
And this dagger swing happens for every attack, so people who are caught off guard are staggered for it and cannot parry the second part of the attack.
Yeah. It's a real badass looking thing too. Like it just looks good.
Oh, it looks really good.
Yeah.
You essentially do the combo that you exploit on the boss,
Mm-hmm.
except for that ending animation ends for you way quicker.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very good weapon to fight with.
Yeah, it's
for
cool.
PvP.
Mm-hmm. Have you been fucking up dudes online?
No, I only have it up to like a +2 because I was stupid and I burnt my upgrade materials on other things, and my great sword's +7.
That's
So
all right.
it's like a no-brainer.
Yeah, as long as you got a good weapon. But yeah, I'm glad you like that. I definitely,
I'm still abusing the hell out of the directional change.
Yeah.
I'll start my swing, they'll roll real early, and then what do you know? You're behind me, and so is my swing.
Nice. Yeah, that's like the thing where you figured out how to use big heavy weapons. I didn't get there. I was just like, I'm gonna use my katana and be happy.
There's so much katanas are not that easy either.
Yeah, it's just that's the thing I put my time into figuring out.
Right. I would check out a few of the heavier weapons if you just haven't so far.
Uh-huh.
Because like I'm pretty sure you've checked out the Fair and Greatsword.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just because it's that cool.
It's real cool.
I'm pretty sure you've also probably at least equipped it and tried to thrust some of the actual new dual wielding weapons.
Yeah, absolutely. This one, the dancer one, is the one that I like. Apparently, it's not very good. It's just not very strong, but it's cool animations with those.
Right.
So,
one that I would check out. Another one that I would check out would be, of course, the Profane Greatsword, which is you got your standard regular Greatsword stuff. However, its specials, instead of your regular stomp, your powerful attack sets the sword on fire afterwards. So you get a flame buff without any of the flame negatives after the infusion.
okay.
So your weapon still scales as well as the flame. Your weapon still scales as well as any other weapon would, and you also have the flame attribute on it. It's like coating it in free pine resin.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's handy. I guess it
handy.
Scales with magic.
It scales a little bit with magic, not too much.
That sounds alright.
Anyway, last tangent thing.
Okay.
So I found the pyromancy flame.
Yeah.
And I decided that from now on, I'm Aquaman.
So
there's a thing called flash sweat, and all you do is get wet.
Get wet. I spent 45 minutes looking for a picture of Aquaman from Injustice: Gods Among Us, just in mid animation getting wet for the thumbnail for the podcast last week, and I gave up. I was fucking furious.
Like at that point, you could have just made one.
I could have booted up my PS3, done it like a game capture recording, and then took a screen grab of it faster, but I didn't.
You should have done it.
I should have done it. All right.
I mean,
I
like,
got this week.
or if you're more inclined,
Uh-huh.
just do it with the Dark Souls 3 pyromancy thing. You got to pull out a full knight armor suit.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, actually, you could remove his helmet and make sure he's got long flowing hair.
Yeah, I do have I do have flashlight, so I could do it. And Dark Souls 3 is a little bit easier to set up to record, so.
Okay. After the Deacons of the Deep, I went back onto the normal. No, sorry. After the Abyss Watches was where we left off.
Yeah.
I just kept going, and after that was Ethereal. No. After that is the Catacombs.
Yeah, the Catacombs sucked.
So I ran in, I killed a skeleton, watched it revive, and I immediately went back to the Firelink Shrine.
Yeah, were you like me and you're like, oh, this is like Dark Souls 1, I need to get a holy weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ends up you don't. You just have to kill him twice.
More than that.
Yeah, I mean it depends.
They have a chance of not coming back.
Yeah.
And that chance can turn into them following you from rooms over where you thought they were dead but just weren't.
With me, like I killed them in 2 tries enough that I was like okay, fine. So I couldn't find a holy weapon, so I'm like, I'll just give it a shot.
The Astoria straight sword, I'm pretty sure, counts as a holy weapon.
Does it? Okay. Fuck. God damn it, Scott. No, it's fine.
I don't know why, but I mean, it also gives you a. I'm pretty sure it also gives you the health regen that a blessed weapon gives you.
That's good. I think I found like a mace at some point that gave me that, so I just stuck with that. Okay, so we got a holy weapon.
So I got a holy weapon, and I want to say this is where I started using the multiplayer.
Okay.
Because sometime between this and
That's a good place to use it. That's when I like started really leaning into it as well.
Yeah, because like sometime between this all, I just got tired of dealing with invaders alone because I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
They just take up. They're not good.
They're fucking scrubs.
They really like if you're not a part of that 150 PvP crowd, the people the people that invade you, they're just not very good. So I think I died to one just out of a, hey, I want to see if I can kill this guy with this weapon kind of thing. And it turns out I'm not good with that weapon.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I did something real dumb.
Yeah. What'd you do?
And we got punished for it. No, that's what I did. That was real dumb.
Yeah. Okay.
I got punished for it.
Happen. I mean, like, yeah, with me, I was getting invaded enough, and it wasn't enough to, like, make me kind of, like, super pissed, like, the certain kind of endgame sections of Bloodborne. But it was enough that I was like, all right, I'm just going to summon more people now.
Right. And then, like, they also just run and they stand in a group of enemies.
Yeah. Fuck those people.
Right.
At least fight me. I was like, I remember, I think I did this a lot because you can watch me play the Dark Souls 3. Mm-hmm. I would always be like, do the Joker from the Dark Knight and just be like, hit me, fucking hit me. Like, yell at them. And then flip a truck. That's how that scene goes, as far as I remember. Yeah, that's
the welcome gesture, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I hate that there is no "come at me, bro" gesture in this game.
That's the welcome. That's the welcome.
It's close, but it's not the same.
Oh, okay.
It's like because you know the one in Dark Souls 1, you tap your chest with both hands and then like step forward, and it's like so good.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
I started using multiplayer because I was getting invaded too much, and I had to restart because they just, of course they were Estus Flask users all the way.
Of course.
I smack them once, Estus Flask, and I'd smack them again. They'd burn it because they don't have to care.
Yeah. Because what do they care if they die? They don't lose anything. So.
Right.
All right. So did you get through what was your over-under on getting through the cathedral? Did it take you too long? Or
Catacombs.
Catacombs. Did it take a long time?
The Catacombs wasn't too bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty annoying because I did the other boss fight on summon multiplayer when I died 101 times, and I just didn't want to. I didn't want to waste an ember when I had no idea what that boss was all about. Because I'd run into him, and then my health bar was like going down, and I just didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, the big guy, the big giant guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And eventually, I figured it out. He's got a death mist that comes around when you get too close, and then he's got a death mist breath that'll go very far up the
hill.
Up the hill.
Yeah.
And then like he has, I want to say 50-60% damage reduction unless you hit his
bling bling.
Yeah, his bling. Apparently he's a rapper.
Yeah, he's like Giant the Rapper.
I was gonna say Kanye.
He's basically Kanye West if he was a giant skeleton.
Yeah, you're fighting Kanye over there.
Yeah, Jesus. For folks listening, I just wave my hand in the air like someone praying to Jesus. Yeah, I mean that's a fine fight though. It's when you figure it out, it's not a difficult fight. Yeah, it's not hard.
But it's not, none of that mist is not obvious that it's killing you. Not one bit. It's not obvious that mist that it's over there is like a death mist.
Yeah.
The one that comes out of his face, absolutely.
Absolutely. It's like, oh, this is an attack. And I remember because like your health bar goes down so quickly when you get in his like crotch mist, I guess. His lower. It's like,
you don't even have to be that far down. If you're past his like where his arm connects to his body, you start dying.
Yeah.
If he goes forward to attack, like if he pushes one hand forward and crawls forward a little bit to attack, if you're standing in the same spot, kind of close,
then you're in
that mist is moving up towards you.
Yeah, I had the same issue with it. Tony, like, because I ended up summoning Danny and Tony to help me with that fight, and he's like, "I never died on this," and I was like, "All right, well, I get it, but it was confusing. There's a lot of imagery going on. I didn't know what was happening, Tony."
Yeah, it's like otherwise, if you fight it kind of head on, no, hey, this is my safe spot. Generally, because it's generally your safe spot in most fights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then it's just not a hard fight. It's annoying because you've got the extra summons sometimes, but you got your holy weapon.
Yeah.
I had my holy weapon.
Yeah, I did not. I got through it fine. He takes good damage, so.
Well, if you ever go back, Blessed Gym, rooftops of the cathedral.
Oh, okay.
You got to go all the way to the right, and it's guarded by a knight. You just run up, you grab it, you run out. Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. Did you So you got through the catacombs?
Got through the catacombs.
A lot of roly poliolis there.
Roly poliolis. Yeah,
they're silly looking. I like them.
Mm-hmm.
I like when they're moving, their like arms are like coming out like.
I had a couple dark spirits killed by those.
Yeah.
Not like the player ones, but like the ones that are just there.
Yeah, makes sense. Did you go through the secret area in the catacombs?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. I won't like necessarily tell you where it is, but there's an area right near the boss fight.
Oh, you mean down the bridge ladder?
Yeah, down the bridge ladder.
Absolutely. You have to go down there. I think so.
You don't have to. No, I totally missed it the first time I went through.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's a cool boss fight down there too.
Yeah, the giant dude.
Eventually I got to him.
The old demon guy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went down there and the crabs were like pissing me off, so I decided to figure it out later. Then I went back when I was like pretty much just before the final boss, and I just fucking annihilated the whole place. I like the big worm, lightning worm.
Cool, yeah, I rolled through him and had the ballista kill him.
Nice. I mean, you're supposed to have the ballista kill him for sure. But yeah, I didn't roll through him. I was not lucky enough to do so. Okay, so you went through that area. More catacombs down there. More people trying to stab you. So then you got to the city.
Yeah. Irithyll, the Boreal Valley.
Yeah, Irithyll of the Boreal Valley. Not Vort of the Boreal Valley.
Yeah,
although
Irithyll.
I guess he hangs out there. That's his chill spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great, like that view. when you
Oh
come
yeah,
out of
that's a
that
great
game.
place. And like this is where
The true Dark Souls starts here.
no, this is where the invasions were really, really, really bad.
Oh, really? Okay. I didn't have too
Yeah.
many there, except for like one specific
Oh
area.
no, dude, no, it was bad. There was two at once almost all the time.
Oh wow, that
So like
sucks.
I always had three people. Like I always had like three people with me, and there
Okay.
was so we had to do a slow burn through that place.
Yeah, I think that's where people go to PvP once they finish the game.
Mm-mm.
So
It's there's a covenant there.
yes, yeah. There's that one specific part.
It's a covenant there for like the entire place.
Yeah.
There's another one for the wolf place, but like you're out of that area, so you're in and out of that area so quick that you just equip the other one.
Yep. Yeah, this is a nice big long area.
Mhm.
But you've gotten past like the really cool part at this point. I guess that I might have kind of spoiled for you. But you probably forgot. But yeah, so you got to on Orlando.
Yeah, I got Don Orlando.
That was cool, right?
Yeah, let's back up a bit though.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm excited. I'll calm down.
Yeah. Okay. So this entire time we were leaving out Onion Bro.
Yeah. How's Onion Bro doing? What's the update on Onion Bro?
Oh, he's dead.
Oh.
I'm there's this thing that they do in Dark Souls that signifies a character's death.
Yeah.
So it's like at this point it happened far away enough a couple days ago that I'm like, okay, I can accept that he's gone now.
Yeah.
But
Did you find him in the cell, the prison cell?
I found him in the prison cell.
Okay. Did you fight the boss with him?
Fought the boss with him.
And he died in the boss fight?
No, he survived the boss fight.
Then he fucking seppuku's it.
I didn't get that.
You didn't get that?
I didn't get that.
Oh, okay.
But like when somebody's just there and they say, "All right, time for one last drink,"
Yeah, you know.
and then their stuff's there later,
Yep.
that means they're dead.
Yeah. Poisons himself. It's sad. He did what he needed to do, though. He killed the giant.
Mhm.
Yorm got fucked.
Was is he the one that was throwing the great spears? No, right?
No, that's a different guy.
Well, for some reason he's gone on my place too.
Huh. Didn't you? No, Tony killed him, right?
Yeah, no, I didn't kill him.
Yeah, you didn't kill him. Huh. I don't know. Maybe he went off to grab one last drink. I don't know. Okay, so
And then we got a little ahead of ourselves.
yeah, that's deep.
But yeah, I went ahead and I did all of like through his through line.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty great in
Yeah, that's
the
great.
Boreal Valley. He's like, hey, what's the best of soup? I'm like, goddamn, yeah, I do.
Yeah. Just hanging out, drinking soup.
Yeah, and then we toast.
Yep.
Always do the gesture every
Always
time.
do the gesture. You don't treat Sigurd like shit, all right? If I learn one thing,
Never.
never. Okay, so you got through the city.
I got through
it's
the
fun.
city.
Fuck those guys with like the
I got
big
stuck on
staffs.
Henri's. I just got stuck on Henri's thing. She's after the Boreal Valley. I haven't found her since.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm just like, oh, okay.
Fuck it.
And then I also ended up killing Horus and
Yeah.
completing Sirius.
Yeah. Whatever his name is.
Like the face. No. This is the lady.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Sunless Realms.
Yeah.
Moon Lady.
Yeah. Moon Lady.
I walked on thin air. I got
Yeah.
that covenant.
Yeah. Were there messages on the thin air indicating that you could walk on it?
Yes.
So there wasn't for me.
Mhm.
I guess they instanced it out on consoles. So I had no idea what to do, but I figured it out with Tony's help. Okay, so yeah, you're doing all this stuff in the city. There's that one boss fight in the cathedral in the city, the guy with the two swords.
Yes. That
Jeff.
boss fight was very, very, very difficult for somebody who's using
Yeah,
gigantic weapons.
yeah, that guy was tough. If you're using fast weapons too.
With a fast weapon, you can get in your hit and get out. It just takes
Yeah,
forever. With
he
a
just-
heavy weapon, you gotta
He just moves is the thing. He's a
Yeah.
quick motherfucker. But yeah, that's a fun fight though. That's another really good fight. I'm trying to think.
So I burnt through that, and I think at this point I'm a little under leveled. I think
Maybe.
because I think I was like 55 at that point.
I think it was like 60. I don't think you're too underleveled if you. So I finished the game around like 80. And you're coming up on it. You're getting there.
Oh yeah.
So
after that guy, you've got. Okay, let's talk about what happens when you open them doors at On Orlando.
yeah.
Okay, so that spider comes down.
Yeah.
It's like a spider, right?
It's like the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
But it's like a spider, right?
Yeah.
Right, Tony
A
told me
spider.
I told Tony the spider-looking thing, and he had absolutely no idea what the hell I was talking about.
Yeah. I mean, it has like a face.
Yeah, like a spider face.
Yeah. It's a spider monster. It is a mix between a spider and a monster.
Right.
It is mostly spider. It has like 8 legs and everything.
Tony's crazy, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could have told you that. He's sick tonight. For people listening at home, like Tony went off. He's laying down. Hopefully he's getting some rest.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So you got to Honor. How was Honor Orlando? Was that cool for you?
On Orlando was pretty cool.
Yeah. Like, Dark Souls is never
I
really.
burned through that barrier very quickly, though.
Yeah.
I did a bunch of skipping. The nights were a little difficult, but
Yeah. I mean, like Dark Souls
Okay.
has never really done.
they
that.
hit me. But I've got a defense build going on,
Yeah. So you're fine.
so I'm fine.
Those nights are super annoying.
Yeah, like for reference, you know how I told you I was gonna fat roll through most of the game.
Does that not happen anymore?
That's not happening anymore, and I haven't changed a damn thing about my gear.
Okay.
So guess what I did?
What'd you do? Just took off your chest piece?
I said I didn't change a damn thing about my gear.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Vitality.
Okay. Vitality and endurance.
I have enough vitality to not fat roll anymore.
There you go. Okay. You figured it out. As long as you're not fat rolling. Shit's disgusting.
Which now that I think about it, hold on. What was my actual defenses?
It's garbage. It's got to be pretty high.
Yeah, I think I was like 25% across the board last time I checked for absorption.
Okay. That's good. That's really
Yeah, and then you've got that kind of defense with a huge ass weapon that hits for a base of like 300.
good. Mm-hmm. That's good.
Not fat rolling.
Wow. Do you have Havel's ring on or anything?
I don't think so.
You only have to
Pretty
be
sure I
like
don't.
below 70 or whatever now to not fat roll, so they made it more reasonable as far as encumbrance percentage wise. So
Right.
So I was just gonna say, like, they don't lean into the kind of like nostalgia, like reference back to what they've done in Dark Souls very often. Like outside of like item descriptions and whatnot, they've never taken you back to a place. So I was way into it, especially like seeing the city below on Orlando and then going up top to Orlando and seeing like the bridge that you took there before is like destroyed and everything. It's really
Right.
cool. And, like, clearly a lot of time has passed. Like,
Yeah.
thousands of years. So that fight is cool too. The big necromancy dude.
Not one of my favorite.
Not one of my favorites, but he's all right. I remember when I got to Honor Orlando because I didn't know it was coming. I just it was like 3:00 in the morning. I was streaming and I just hopped into a DM and I sent Allie a DM just saying Honor Orlando, holy fuck, and she just responded like 6 hours later, like I know, right? So yeah, that's really cool part of that game. So then you beat that guy.
Beat that guy, kept rolling on.
Yeah, then you got to go into the dungeons, the dungeons, where those fuckers lower your maximum health.
Oh yeah.
Ugh, did not like those guys.
Yeah, good thing I had defense.
Yeah, pretty much my least favorite Dark Souls enemy, I think. Especially like when they swarm you at that last part. Ugh.
That was like a middle part for me.
Yeah, I mean, like when you're like, yeah, it sucks. Anyway.
There's a bunch of different ways you can do that.
Yeah, I ended up like kind of picking them off one by one, doing a little dodge and weave. So then you get through there, and then you fight the giant, Yorm the giant.
From the giant. You just ran up. I grabbed the sword like immediately because it was like glowing item.
Yep.
That doesn't happen in boss fights.
Straight up Demon Souls boss fight right there. Right?
Yep. Yep.
That's the because I recently played through the Storm King boss fight, the King of the Storm fight in Demon Souls, as you know. It's totally like the same thing. It's awesome.
And the cool thing is that this sword works outside of that fight.
Yeah.
Outside of that area, you gotta wait for it to charge, so it's not very good in PvP.
No.
But it's
cool though.
And it's not even nearly as close to as
effective.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's made it's why it has like 0 encumbrance or whatever, so anyone can use it.
Yeah.
But it's a cool sword. It's like a novel fight at the very least. You had Sigurd with you though. He already had the sword, so he was fucking shit up.
Yep.
Yeah, I fought that with Danny, and he had the sword ready, so he just destroyed him for me. Well, I was trying to figure out what to do, and then I picked up the sword, and then he beat the fight, and I'm like, God damn it, I want to do it. But yeah, that's a cool fight. Then so after you've beaten him, you've beaten all of the things except for King Lothric. All of the Lords of Cinder, yeah. So then it takes you back to the Lady of the Blue,
who just kills her and dies.
Yeah, she's just dead. She's bleeding out. You come back, she's dead. Then you have to fight the Dancer of the Boreal Valley, who you were fighting and beat just before we started recording.
Yes.
So you're there.
I am there.
You still got a good amount ahead of you, though. I'll let you know. This last area is pretty long. But yeah, that's progress. That's a lot of progress.
Yeah, it's a lot of progress.
Is that all you played this week?
Kinda. I've been chugging a bit through Bravely Default.
Okay.
I didn't. Good.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a
good. It's fun.
Yeah, it's not like I did too much in it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing really new to report on about it. So
okay. Cool. It's a good game. It's a good Dark Souls chat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, we can hop back over to my games. Nobshin is in the 90s as far as percentage complete for his computer update, so hopefully he will be joining us soon. So yeah, I talked about Quantum Break. I finished that just before we started the show as well. I would say, like, because I didn't talk about the TV show part of it, it gets better, right? The thing is, so you get like these 24-minute episodes of TV between each act. So there's 4 episodes, 5 acts of the game. Like, you could totally take the TV show out of it, and the game would still be fine. There's little stuff and little references that make it feel, that expand that universe and give you more information, and you see other stuff that is really cool. And they allude to stuff that is really cool. But for the most part, that's like very much the B story. And like a lot of those characters just die or disappear, and you don't really get a lot of resolution on them except for one, and that one character is like the worst character from the show. It's like this kind of like squirrely, nerdy IT guy that ends up like fucking everybody over, and then he comes around to the side of good, but he always kind of sucked, so you don't really like him. But he shows up. It's cool because he shows up in the game at the end. And depending on like your last major, so you get these junction points where you can make major decisions. Depending on which decision you make, either he will show up in the game at the end, or the main character of the TV show will show up in the game at the end. But like, for me, that guy died. So it was like, man, like, I don't know if there's any other way for this to play out. Apparently, it's like subtle stuff. So, as far as like the decisions, but since Nabishin played Batman's Telltale, and I want to talk about that with him, I will talk about Hyper Light Drifter, which I had started playing last week. I finished that this week. Definitely think you should play this, Scott. It's got Scott Guthier written all over it. So I finished Hyper Light Drifter. Very good. Very, very good. I really, really liked it. It's like, it's it's very much like a Zelda game, like a Link to the Past, in a lot of ways. But combat's better, of course, which I talked about a little bit last week. But there's a moment that I realized when I was playing that, like, it does a lot with conveyance, like as far as like its visual style to the player. Where I was like, at first I'm playing it, it's like a top-down adventure. I'm going through collecting stuff, fighting enemies. I'm like, this is great. I bet like anybody who liked The Link to the Past would really like this game. So it's kind of like jovial and for both of those people. Then I kind of started to realize like I'm like decapitating dudes and there's like blood everywhere. And like there's some really fucked up imagery. Like very, very graphic. Like dudes getting eaten alive and murdered and shit. And I'm like, oh, like this is a game for people who played A Link to the Past and have gotten older now. It's like a mature one of those, which is really cool. Like I feel like that's not a thing you see with a Zelda game, at least in this style, that often. You could say like Darksiders would be the equivalent of that for like 3D Zelda. But
like not so much.
Yeah, I mean that's still very different. This is way more like if you played A Link to the Past when you were younger, this is like taking those ideas and like maturing them in a lot of ways, which is cool. It's very cool. But yeah, so there are like 4 areas and like a hub town in the middle. And you go to each area and beat the boss in that area and collect these kind of triangular keys in that area. And then eventually you can, in the hub town in the center, you can go down and fight the final boss. It's actually kind of like Majora's Mask. It's weird. So like, I'm not necessarily sure what the fuck was going on with the story. Because it's very, very mysterious, very oblique. But, there were like these 4 giant Evangelion-like titans that ravaged the world, and there was this war against them, and now they're all dead. So let me take you on this kind of narrative journey. Tell me if this sounds familiar, Scott. You're in a town in the center of this area, and in each of the 4 cardinal directions are 4 different areas. One that's kind of like a forest, one that's kind of like a desert, one that's kind of like watery, one that's kind of like a snowy mountain. And there were these 4 giant monsters in each, and now they're all dead. And you have to go to each area and beat them all, and then you come back to the town and defeat like the looming threat over the town. So it's very much like Majora's Mask is what I'm saying. Except the giants are not friendly. They're not friendly BFGs, big friendly giants. They're bad giants that are dead now. But yeah, it's really cool. There's some issues with it, like mechanically, it feels a little hitchy.
Ooh, that's no good.
I mean, like it's not something like that I think everyone is going to notice, but it's definitely something that I notice. Like when you get hit, right, you get locked in like this recovery animation, but there's like a frame where it feels like you can dodge out of it, right? Like, okay, I'm back and I can move again now, and you can just dodge away, but you can't, and you can get hit again. So, like, for example, there's like one boss fight where it's like shoots a big laser beam, a continuous shot. If you get trapped behind that, there's like stutters in it where you feel like you can dodge out of it. And like, okay, I got hit, but I can move out of this now, but you can't, and then you just die. And instead of just like killing you and just punishing you, like that's it, killed, just respawn and start again, you feel like this kind of trapped sensation that you're locked in this animation that is going on for too long. It doesn't happen a lot, but I did notice it, and it did feel bad. But like that's my only real complaint against how it plays. Outside of that, it was tons of fun. Very fast, very, very cool. Like it's very much like paced like Dark Souls, but it isn't like Dark Souls. No lock on, none of that. Just like get in, do damage, get out. A lot of dodging. You have like health flasks that you replenish. There's no bonfires or anything, but it's cool. It's a really cool game. And yeah, I finished it. I'm working on a review. I think my review is done. I finished it this morning, but I want to have someone look over it before I publish it. But that'll be up soon. In short, I really really liked it, but it has like kind of a couple little issues. It's very confusing also. I don't think people are going to play this game for the story though. I will say that much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to check on Nobishin.
Yeah, because he should be close to soon getting good soon now.
Booting up. I'm just going to text him that. So this is what Windows 10 update. This is what they do. Are you on Windows 10 on your computer?
Yes.
That's right. We had talked about that. Yeah, just those mad updates. How you doing, Scott?
Doing all right.
Yeah. Tired?
Hungry.
Yeah, I'm like a little hungry. I ate like before the show, like dinner.
You know, I know we're trying to not take a break before an option gets back.
Do you want to take a break?
Do you think we should just take a break?
Yeah, let's just
give them the time.
Yeah, give them the time. We'll take it. We're at like an hour 30, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Give me time to get some news together. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, hopefully we will have Nobishin with us, and we'll talk about the Telltale Batman game and news and maybe some questions, and we'll throw it out. So we will be back in just a little bit. Choo choo choo. It's a good call, Scott. Good call. Do you need to go run to the bathroom or something?
I want to go eat.
Okay. If you have food readily available, Nobishin's booting up.
Yeah,
as we speak.
food readily available, or at least ready enough for the microwave.
Okay. Cool. You enjoy your food. Hangry. Let's look at some news. Pokemon Go is broken without tracking. Sasuke 3 figurines. Huh. Division movie star Jake Gyllenhaal, Jessica Chastain. Scott have his headphones on his mic. Overwatch. PS Vita release date for Claim Darkest Dungeon. Five changes Civ 6 makes to the strategy franchise. Civ 6, 150 turns of combat, espionage, and field. Go. Oh, that's good. Just reading news for folks that are watching the video at home. See if there's anything important. Hey, buddy.
Hello.
Hey, sorry about your computer woes.
Never ends.
I hate it when you're like, oh, I'll just update this real quick. Oh,
I mean, it wasn't even a choice, though. Was it something that happened?
it just happened. Yeah. It's like when Windows 10 installed itself on all those computers.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay. I'm just going through news. Do you have any news?
None that I could find.
Okay.
Nothing that's really important.
Yeah, I'm like, nothing super big popping out here.
You want to count me in while you're still recording?
We'll do it closer to when we start the news. I'm gonna run and pee before we come back. And Scott's grabbing a quick bite to eat.
Sure.
And grab a glass of water while I'm upstairs. You can buy this Battlefield 1 Collector's Edition that doesn't include the game. That's news. StarCraft HD remaster reportedly in development. Oh, that's weird. XCOM 2 is delayed on PS4 and Xbox One by a couple of weeks. Yeah, there really is not much.
All that No Man's Sky malarkey.
Yeah. I mean, like, what are we going to say? Like, no, fucking sucks for that guy. I exploited the game that I got early. Also, they're going to erase my progress.
No, fuck that guy.
Yeah. I mean, he spent like, what, $1,300 on the game?
It's more like the thing I'm upset about is like, oh man, I bought this game early so I could be the first one doing the experience myself. This is such a me thing, but then I'm gonna share it all on the internet. And they're like, hey, why is everybody getting all mad about it? Like, come on.
It would have been definitely way better if he's like, I got it, I played it, you need to play it, and like
Yeah,
that
exactly.
was it. That'd been cool, but you know.
I mean, like the only thing people will give, they're like, oh, that's a fake copy or some bullshit like that. But like, who cares? Like,
Yeah.
you're paying it and you're enjoying it. This is what you're waiting for.
At least he
So.
liked it, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like that he stopped when like Sean Murray got sad. Yeah, I mean, like understandably so, I guess. All right, I will be if I can get out of this tangle of cords, I will be right back.
Let's see. Let's see. Render. No, some London tape is actually. That was really stupid.
What's up?
I'll say, you know what's really stupid?
What?
When you do a signature with a mouse,
Yeah.
when you're doing a job application.
Yeah.
It's like put your initials all on this and then try to make a signature with a mouse when it's like a laptop.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's even worse. I'm doing a touchpad to like put my name. You can read it, but it looks
Yeah,
garbage.
it looks terrible. There's a nice thing on Mac in the preview. There's an application called Preview. You can import signatures, and what you can do is if you do your signature on a white piece of paper and then hold it up to the camera, it'll scan it and then save just the pen ink as a JPEG or like a PNG image, and then you can drop that on any PDF, which is awesome. And you can also draw on the trackpad with your finger. So, but yes, it does suck. Hot garbage. I wrote down this one news story just because it's funny. We can maybe talk about it a little bit. That's the wrong email. Pull up the mail sack real quick. I'm sad that you missed Cassidee. She's super cool.
Yeah, I saw the whole thing. So
Yeah. Do you have it like up on your phone or something?
no, I was watching on my PS4 and I was doing a Google Doc on my phone. So.
Okay. Appreciate the commitment to the titles.
I was like, I was trying, but man, God, this is annoying.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. The updates and whatnot. God, a whole lot of. I gotta like go into Twitter and tell them like, hey, just don't send the mail
Verify
sack.
me.
Well, yeah, no. Don't send the mail sack emails when somebody favorites the tweet because it's stupid.
Wait, what?
So like someone favorites like an at IrrationalPod tweet, like like a notification email from Twitter in the mail sack. Just clogs up the mail sack. It's like maybe new followers or Twitch followers. I have those turned on. That's fine, but it's just too much. Did you see any of the stuff that went up on the website this week?
I didn't get a chance to read. I've been so busy, dude. Like,
No worries. I just like I will especially say that Yusuf's piece, the art of the video game thing, is really good. And then Logan wrote something about like the quiet moments in Naughty Dog games that I think you'd really appreciate. He calls that like one from Uncharted 1 that like I didn't even think of. It's really good.
the beginning?
When you see the U-boat.
Okay.
Just like the way he's like very, very good at descriptive text, like describing not only what's going on screen, but how that's making him feel in like a very like easy to empathize with way. So it makes all the stuff that he writes like really fun to read because it's just so vivid and so much imagery in it. So that's the reason why I was like, man, this guy's real good. So yeah, it's good. He's real good. Jesus, my hair is just falling out. I gotta get my hair cut. This is a
Your
disaster.
hair's super long again.
I know it's been,
It grows so fast,
It's
dude.
been 4 months since April when I got like cut almost like so much off. And it's like almost as long as it was again. It's unbelievable. I'm too poor. Like I want to get like a good haircut. So I got to spend like a little bit of money, but it's like, well, this video game came out. So I guess I'll
You ever attempted to cut your hair yourself? I know it's different for different races, but I was just curious.
Yeah, I mean, I did when I was younger. Fucked it up real bad. um, I mean, like I could have Ethan cut it, but then I look at Ethan's hair. I just don't want it to end up like that.
You don't want no Mac Flanders hair, do you, or something?
Yeah, his weird like just the top of his head that's like super long. Who didn't hear me? My one of my coworkers is she's a hairstylist. Maybe I could convince her to cut my hair. She lives in Columbia too, so not too far away. God damn it, Scott! What are you eating? What are you doing? We could do a little. Let's do a little bonus content. How you doing? Get up to anything outside of work? Not talking about work.
Getting another job outside of work.
Okay.
It's a good thing and a bad thing because it's like it was the job I had God,
Years ago, like before you moved.
when I lived with Merc and Katie, it was the job I
Yeah,
had.
yeah. You said you really liked that job.
Yeah, I liked it and all, but like, I kind of closed that chapter of my life. But
Yeah.
I'm going back there because like since my mom still works at the company, it was like it was kind of a situation where she knew how miserable I was, and then like she just pretty much asked like hey, if I wanted to apply, could I get in there? And like say yeah, totally, just apply and we'll like get them in there like instantly, or at least as quick as we can. So I was like, fuck, like I don't really want to go back, but it's at least something, and like even if it's an in between job, it'll be something until I get something better.
Yeah,
And,
like just like bring up the morale in the meantime, right? Like until you can figure stuff out.
yeah, for sure. And like it's more of like what I do best, because like because like this happens every time when I try to look for like, a new job or something like that. I was like, I don't know what actually I'm good at. Like I don't know. Like, do I really have talent, or just like, or is it just something I just work, like, and I just do okay when I work, and like so like when I apply for something, and it's like, oh, like what I even want to try to be, or what should I even try to go for? It's like data entry. Like, sure, I could do that. Now I could do it good, but like, is that really something that I can? I don't know. Like, it's always something like I just need the opportunity to come up beforehand before I know how good I am at it. Anyway, I know I can work, and that job is nothing but working, so that's fine. And like, but like it's they wanted me to be the lead for that, so it's like I'm actually, I'm working, but like I have associates who are working for me, and my job is to make sure that they're doing their job, and just help them with doing that, and I feel I'm good at doing that, so. So
yeah. Hell, I mean, you help keep us in line, so. So yeah, I mean, you definitely, for sure. I think, like, especially when there's a sense of camaraderie, that you have a good knack of encouraging people to get out there and try new things.
I guess that's true.
Like I mean, with this show, like one of the best things about like you coming on was like Joe was kind of that, and as he was leaving, you kind of took that place, and we've done like a bunch of weird, crazy shit since then, right? So like the Google Hangouts and the bonus content and the closing topics, those are all your ideas. So like,
I don't think Google Hangout was my idea.
I think I might have started that, but I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Sorry it took so long. Back.
No worries. Nobshin's here.
What's up, my dude?
Hey, man.
Yo, guys, I'm so excited for Extra Life.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be good to have the family back together. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, me too.
Family's back together. Except for Evan. He is so sassy now. I don't know if you guys have talked to him at all recently. He sent me a Snapchat. I was like, what the fuck is this? I thought Evan was like 1,000 years old. He doesn't understand how the internet works. Nobshin, you ready to start recording?
Yeah.
All right. On 1, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. And we're back. Hi, Nobshin.
Hi.
How are you doing, buddy?
All right.
All right. You want to talk about Batman?
Oh yeah.
Actually, before we talk about Batman, there's one thing that I've been quote unquote playing that I want to talk
Suicide
about.
Squad.
No.
Oh.
Cortana on Xbox One. This has been a struggle for weeks, and I keep forgetting to bring it up on the show. But fuck Cortana on Xbox One. I'm gonna let you know. So they've changed the voice commands for Xbox One from Xbox to whatever to say "Hey Cortana" now. And now my Xbox is listening. The Connect light lights up when you say "Hey Cortana." It's really creepy. And I hate them. I gotten very comfortable saying Xbox on or Xbox go to this, go to Hulu Plus, or Xbox go to Netflix. And now you have to say like, "Hey Cortana, launch Hulu Plus" or something like that, or "Hey Cortana," and then she starts listening. Then you say Xbox on to turn your Xbox on. I hate it. So I'm like, I guess I'm part of the dashboard preview program.
I think the preview's over. I think everybody has it now.
Yeah, I think everybody has Hey Cortana now. I'm not a fan. It's just a little bit slower. And I don't know. She says like when you have her turn off the Xbox, she like it'll say it's been real when before she turns off the Xbox. It's like it's the continuation of that whole like Microsoft doing like that kind of casual conversation stuff in all of their
It's
text.
time to update.
Yeah, it's time to update, man. Hey, we're just hanging out, having an update, popping a cold brews, and like, fuck you. What are you saying to me? And I'm like, not super opposed to it, but because I don't like Cortana, just like
It doesn't help.
it just makes it worse. Yeah. Anyway, I just had to get that out. I like the voice commands and the Kinect on Xbox One. This does not. You're hurting me right now. It hurts my soul. I feel like they could make it faster, and that could help. But just I got so comfortable saying Xbox on and whatever, and now I'm not comfortable saying Hey Cortana. Let's talk about Batman, the Telltale series. Episode 1 came out this week. I'm not gonna spoil anything. Don't worry, folks. Listen. What'd you think of it, Nobshin?
I thought it was just okay.
You thought it was just okay?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I felt they didn't do well. Like, I think there was an opportunity missed, and
Okay.
personally, and like I feel like if I was Telltale, and who knows, this is episode 1. I can like eventually go to this eventually, but like in like the whole choice system aspect of the game, I just felt like it would be a better situation if it was like there's a scenario happening like I can't really think of a good example, but I thought like a good example would be having like you choose either Bruce Wayne or Batman to go through this situation. Because like my favorite stuff about like Batman is like the whole like deciding like who's really the real person and who's really the fake.
Yeah.
Like this did Bruce Wayne die all those years ago when his parents died and he just been Batman this entire time, or is it really just like Batman is the mask and Bruce Wayne is the person type of thing? So I just thought that was just a missed opportunity, and at least that's what I wanted. So like me wanting that is kind of like making me. I think this is coloring my opinion on it a little bit.
I
But
think
for what it
that's
was,
fair.
it was
Though,
fine.
yeah. That's totally fair. I feel like that the instance, like I feel like you can't do that for every decision is the problem, right? I feel
Yeah,
like
but I mean like a penultimate moment in like the end of it or something like that.
yeah. No, I'm saying like I feel like that's a really good climax. Like that's a good like episode 3. Like, do I come in guns blazing as Batman, or do I come in and try to deal with this as a person?
I guess like a good example would be like let's say Two-Face is in this game for whatever reason, and um like you'll get to a point where like you could talk to him as a Bruce Wayne since you're used to be friends and stuff like that, or you can like be Batman and like actually try to take him down, something like that. I don't know.
I think there's definitely room for that to happen. And I came in with the expectation that this was very much going to be more groundwork than anything else. I really liked it. The parts that I didn't like about it were just like the parts that are still a Telltale game. honestly.
100%.
Yeah, I played it on PS4, pretty hitchy. Like, it's sad, and I say it in the review of like, I wish I could say that this didn't hinder my experience, but it really did. Because like, and they were talking about it on the Giant Bombcast this past week. Jason A. Striker who played it, and he had said like it's very cinematic. It's shot really well. It's directed well, and I agree with that to the extent where like then it starts hitching, and you see like those camera angles and all those shots are cool, and then it's like, oh, then this engine is kind of falling apart in front of my face. And that's.
Can we pause for a second? Sorry.
Oh yeah, go for it.
I'm recording from the wrong mic. I just realized.
Oh, no worries.
So I'm gonna stop this and we'll save it, and I'm gonna do the other thing.
Pull up this text message. Barrett sent me something that's worth reading.
What is this?
What episode is it?
Yeah.
289. We're getting up there, man. I'm getting old.
Here you go, you dumb bitch. all right. Countdown again. Sorry.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. What was I saying? Something Bruce Wayne. Oh, yeah. So it doesn't help that like the engine, the Telltale engine, is just like still messy, right? It looks better. Especially the character models look really good, but still hitchy and not as smooth as it should be. And yeah, quick time events. Ooh, man.
Hey, I'm done with that, especially with those games.
Yeah, I mean, I to an extent, I still have fun with them, right? I like the directional button and the face button and stuff. Like it feels like you're hitting or whatever, but it's still like, man, quick time events are not the solution here. We need to find like a different solution. But hey, I knew what I was signing up for, you could say. And like I came into this for the story and the writing, and I think the story and the writing was really good. I really liked how they portrayed Bruce Wayne. I always come at it from the perspective that Batman is the real person and Bruce Wayne is the mask, right? And this leans into that. And so we did a spoiler cast that you can watch on youtube.com/irrationalpassions. Jared Green and Jacob Bryan and I did spoiler cast, got the family back together from the Walking Dead Season 3 and The Wolf Among Us to sit down and talk about
Season 3?
Walking Dead Season 2, excuse me. Sorry, I just looked into the future and saw our future. Did you watch that at all, Nabashin?
No, but I haven't had time for pretty much anything.
I'm pretty happy with it. I thought, as far as like being a moderator for the panel, I thought I did pretty good for that one. Not to toot my own horn, I guess, but yeah, we talked about it and just like how interesting that premise is, and like there's a sense of pressure, of like feeling like you're split in two directions when you're Bruce Wayne, of like I have to deal with this right now in front of me, but also like Batman shit might be happening and I need to find out what's going on back there. And there are a couple really good scenes with that, I thought. So yeah.
Were you very Christian Bale with your and I mean that as far as like like in Batman Begins, he was like pretty much a shithole when it's like not being a shithole to protect you type of thing.
No, I was trying. I was like the Bruce Wayne that's like, in order for Harvey Dent to work, I have to try. I came at it kind of from that perspective.
So you
did not shake any hands.
Okay. That's
did not shake hands. That's great. Did you shake the hand?
No.
Yeah. See, everyone else did. Everyone that I've talked to did. And I'm like, no, like this guy I'm not going to be associated with this guy. And it is, so good. Also, the casting for that character, very good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so good. I like that voice actor a lot, and I'm glad that he's in other stuff outside of Uncharted. Barrett sent me, I want to make sure this doesn't have spoilers in it, but yeah, Barrett sent me a text because he watched our spoiler cast. I wanted to give his opinion a little shout out. It's an interesting perspective. He said, "Gonna rant Batman shit real quick since I'm watching. My strife against Bruce Wayne, Bruce's character in this context is Bruce is always a character Batman plays, but this entire episode he's always just Bruce. Whenever he's away from people, he never turns Bruce off, and it never comes off as he's still Bruce and trying to discover how to be Batman. It just never feels like he's really Batman. I think that's why a lot of people are saying it has an identity crisis. I disagree with him. I definitely think like he comes off to me as Batman who's trying to be Bruce, and that's how I played it. But I see where he's coming from, and I wanted to share that perspective because I thought it was interesting. Did you play anything else, Option?
Nothing really. No, a little bit more Overwatching. Bought Doom, but I didn't really get a chance to play it that much. No, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. Been busy. I turned off Pokemon Go on my
on your phone.
No, Pokemon Go shit. No, Pokemon
Gold.
There you go. Thank you.
A couple extra letters there. That's fine.
I turned it off. I don't know. Like if I can't save it,
die.
Yeah, because if I can't save it, there's no point.
No, that would drive me crazy. That would drive me insane.
And that time was really fucking with me.
Yeah.
A little bit more Link Between Worlds, not too much farther in. Yeah, I don't think I've really played anything.
All right. Then, I mean, we don't really have news. I'm not even gonna play the news music. I just added this one story as a joke. There's not a lot of news is happening for folks who don't know. But I was reading this. I was like on Facebook. And when video game news comes up in the Facebook news feed on the right hand side, that's when you know there's not. I mean, maybe I'm scraping from the bottom of the barrel here. It was just like a quote that Tetsuya Nomura had said. I thought that maybe this could spawn a discussion since we do have the Kingdom Hearts crew tonight. He said the quote unquote the story of Kingdom Hearts 3 is overwhelmingly big. And I read this to Scott earlier, but I'll go through it again. Nomura in an interview said story-wise, Kingdom Hearts point 2 and is situated at a rather important point. The scenarios of Kingdom Hearts 3D and point 2 can essentially be thought of as a prologue to Kingdom Hearts 3. The story connects from Kingdom Hearts 3D to point 2 to Kingdom Hearts 3. In my own head, Kingdom Hearts 3 began at Kingdom Hearts 3D. And that's why the subtitle for this HD collection is 2.8. Which is great logic right there. And then Famitsu.
I don't know. I thought that was like already like not really duh, but like
yeah, like I thought so too. I mean,
yeah,
this was very much the chain of memories for this game. Got it. Cool. Famitsu followed up. This was where the interview was from. Does spreading the story from not only Kingdom Hearts 3D but also Kingdom Hearts Point 2 mean that Kingdom Hearts 3 will be smaller in size? And Nomura replied by saying, quote, "It's not that I've spread the story out. Perhaps it's more that I've separated the parts that would have ruined Kingdom Hearts 3's tempo if they were told then. In fact, Kingdom Hearts 3 is overwhelmingly big." Winky face. So it's not that content has been shaved off, and it's something I've worried over how to handle. I just thought that was interesting. Overwhelmingly big.
I mean, like if you threw the ending of the Kingdom Hearts 3D in the middle of that, I think that like there are people who just like turn the game off right there. But like
they pretty much if they saw any of Kingdom Hearts 3D, they would have been turning the game off.
If that was I want to say if they had to like shove that game like somewhere in 3 where like it might not have even started, where if like if it like started before there or like whatever. Even if it started there, if that's how the game like started, and then it's like, oh, by the way, now that you're masters, now you have to go do this, and like
here's
like
the middle point of our game.
You thought you were like, okay, like what if Kingdom Hearts 3 just did come out with 3D attached to the beginning?
Yeah.
No change in graphics style, no nothing, like nothing, and it was through lined where. You thought you were coming to the end of this game as you were defeating the original final boss, but then you just go into the rest of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Well, here's my thing.
Like
This brings up an interesting point that we every time I think about Kingdom Hearts, I have to think about this of like what is Nomura like just leading us on the long con, like, because we all know, right? Like he had to just been making this shit up as he goes along.
absolutely.
So like the idea that when he started like planning Kingdom Hearts 3, that like the intricacies of all the shit that happens in 3D was like part of that story that he like separated out.
Well, I
crazy.
think what he had wanted to do in 3 had a lot to do with what wasn't set up yet, and he had a hard time having that make sense and with the and keep up with the tempo.
Yeah.
You end up with situations like you do the Superman versus Batman movie when you go ahead and you just do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's like he made a good move when he did it, but I definitely think that he started with 3 and said, "Huh."
Yeah, I need to get Riku to master status real quick here. So let's just make another game.
Something like that, yeah.
I still think it's like
I definitely don't think he has this gigantic big plan from Kingdom Hearts 1 already.
I want to believe that though. God, I want to believe that.
I mean, like the thing is, like I'm thinking about this now because like there's a lot of people who went from like Kingdom Hearts 1 to just to Kingdom Hearts 2, and then they got introduced to nominating like who the fuck is this girl or whatever, this. Who's this Roxas kid at the beginning?
It's way easier to do that jump though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like when people just like go to 3 now, because like there's a lot of people that didn't play those portable games, so they go, yeah, they're just fucking spin-offs.
Yeah,
like,
people that didn't play Birth by Sleep are gonna be so fucking lost.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like God, like I don't know.
I mean, like I went from Kingdom Hearts 1 to 2, right? I didn't play Chain of Memories until later, so like I was definitely like confused. But I think like part of that is intentional, right? Like you're supposed to feel like a fish out of water at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2. Like you tell me, like you knew Roxas was Sora's nobody, and I know we're inside baseball.
Well,
right
we didn't know that, but
yeah,
like,
no, you don't know that for okay. You don't. Yeah, you just don't know that. You do not pick up on that.
Yeah,
you don't know what nobodies are.
Yeah, you just see Axel again. It's like, oh, that Axel from that one time. And
right, when they're there, you don't know that they're nobodies.
So I like that. I like that kind of like, who is this character? And then you, as you go through that prologue, like you realize like he's like this part of Sora that was separated, because they say as much. And I don't know, like that's cool. Like if I'm like, that's why I hope that they do something similar for Kingdom Hearts 3 of like a kind of fish out of water. Maybe like you start the game as Riku or like Kairi or something, or maybe.
But what's the through line that's gonna get through like those 4 games? Is it 4? No, it's probably it is 4. Like, look, I'm just trying to think of like what can like, because it was messy how they did it in 3D just to try to like do like somewhat backstory stuff in that game. So it was like I'm just curious, like, because there's like I said, there's gonna be a lot of people who just went from 1, 2, then 3. So like I just don't know if or they even care, because like they're put on Xbox One. So like then who really gives a shit on that?
I mean, I feel like you do like the Mass Effect thing. Like, give me like a short like prologue summary movie or something like that. Like I feel like you can do that and get caught up.
But you didn't have that though when you played it the first time. I mean.
I didn't know. I'm saying like for 3 though, because so much has happened since 3, like it merits that kind of attention. And of course, like in Nomura's fantastical universe that his head lives in, he believes that everyone who's played Kingdom Hearts has played all of his spin-offs. But we know that's not true. So like, do a little like Kingdom Hearts 3D is like Scott said in the past.
Kind of like Kingdom Hearts 3D is like the ultimate catch-up.
Yeah, because it's got the little summaries of all the games. They're not great, but they give you an idea of what happened.
No, they're pretty good.
I mean, the one for Birth by Sleep is like not nearly enough. So much shit happens in that game. So much shit happens in that game.
They cover almost everything that's consequential.
Yeah, but like
that's like a big bummer about the a big bummer about the Birth by Sleep is that a lot of the stuff is inconsequential.
Yeah, I mean, but like Aqua Terra and Ven are going to be characters in
Yes.
3, so like you have to kind of have those guys. You have to know who those guys are going into that. I feel.
How
You
is this game
can't,
gonna
you,
get to
you,
be?
you can't do that. You can't do that without playing those games
I
out.
fucking love talking about Kingdom Hearts. Nothing brings me more joy.
I like you don't get to know Shepard if you start Kingdom Hearts 3.
Shepard.
You don't get to know your Shepard if you start
Mass Effect 3.
Mass Effect 3 through those movies.
I'm really excited for the Mass Effect
You
world in
don't.
Kingdom Hearts 3. No, you're right. And even though Shepard is like a character you established, you're very true. That's very true.
You don't even get to know like any of the side characters' stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, how are you supposed to know Garrus? Get your shit together.
Real talk, like how I'm thinking about this now. Like how are you gonna review this game? Because like it's literally something like that. Where like I feel it's like something like those Zero Escape games. Like you shouldn't really play those games unless you play like the other games because like I don't know. I'm thinking about that now.
Well, like it's a thing of you can separate out the gameplay as well as like how does this rank in comparison to the franchise as a whole, and like how does this innovate on what the groundwork they've laid out. Sure, as far as like story and like I think you come at it from like this is the third in a series, right? So this is for people that have played these games, right? So you come at it from a person who has played those games and is saying like you can say like if you haven't played Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2 or the spin-offs, like don't play this game. But you can still say, but this is like a 9.0 or something like that.
But I think that's different though, because like The Witcher was different from that one. Do you think?
Yeah, and
Kinda, sorta, because
you can merit it for being more approachable. But like I don't know, like it's
you
gonna.
think this game's gonna be approachable?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's gonna be up to the reviewer's discretion.
Okay. Listen, Kingdom Hearts is on the Metal Gear level of approachable.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter quite where you start.
Yeah.
But I feel Metal Gear is different though, because you play Metal Gear Solid 5 and like that story is like so throwaway, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So like when like gameplay's important for me with Kingdom Hearts, but like stories
right, but
is probably just as if not more important to me.
But
so.
like, be honest here. You play the first of Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah,
and
Metal Gear Solid.
Don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You play Metal Gear Solid 2.
And you really don't know what's going on.
Right. This does not change throughout this entire thing unless you really sit down, read everything 3 or 4 times, and then watch everything once again, going back.
Mm-hmm.
To forcibly piece that together. Kingdom Hearts is in a very similar vein.
Totally.
The difference is Kingdom Hearts doesn't focus on that. Kingdom Hearts is a completely different focus. It's one of those things where you do not have to know what's going on. It would be nice, but they generally come up with ways to push you through this. You don't need to know all of the back stuff that's going on in the background.
That's true. Like there's definitely like the overarching story of Kingdom Hearts and then the immediate story. Like when you're playing through Kingdom Hearts, most of that game, like the 40 hours compared to the 20 hours, right? It's a lot still, is like you just playing through Disney stories, right?
Right.
And you can have a good time with that no matter what.
I guess that's true.
And also, like, going off like The Witcher and Metal Gear as examples, like you can write a post saying like, "Here's what you need to know going into Kingdom Hearts 3 if you never played them all." It'd be a fucking really long post. But like, here are things that I will tell you, I will write down for you, and then you'll kind of have a better understanding. You won't know exactly what's going on, but you'll have a better understanding going this. Should I do that? Should I do that?
You should totally do that.
That'd be really fun to write. Maybe I'll do like an Alex Talks on it too. I was requested by text message to do an Alex Talks that's just me summarizing the entire lore of Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, I should totally do that. It'd be like a 40-minute long video, but I should totally do that.
Have me as a guest on that.
Yeah, bring Scott in. Anyway, I don't want to like drive our listeners too mad for too long, but I'm excited.
I mean, it's a good question. Pertains to a lot of games, and some games did it better than others.
It's my thing that I always come back to that makes me want to believe that Nomura knew exactly what he was doing the whole time. And he's just
There'd be no reason for him to delay Kingdom Hearts this long if he knew that.
It's true, but like it's the brown cloaked motherfucker on Destiny Islands, and that's Xehanort's heart, and it's like he knew he knew time travel. He knew. He sent it back. He knew this whole time.
I don't doubt that he had a lot of that kind of stuff planned out. He's like, this is what I do want to do with this. This is what I want to do with that. Let's see how we get there.
I hope that the real story behind that, it was like that was his failsafe. Like he just made that shit up and was like, I'll figure out what this is later. And he did that just like Xehanort made his failsafe in the lore story. And it's like, no, the brown cloaked Xehanort's heart is Nomura. And people who never play the games have no fucking idea what we're talking about.
I'll catch it up real quick. Beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1, this is a brown cloaked guy in a cave.
Yeah, he's in a cave.
When your island is being destroyed by darkness.
Yeah, there's no context for him.
There's no context for him being there.
Yeah.
And he says some shit. It's kind of important. And yeah,
door is open, Scott.
One who knows nothing can understand nothing.
We are why video games are bad. This is the greatest episode of Irrational Passions podcast ever recorded. That's it for news. Or is it? I don't know. One who knows nothing will understand nothing. It's too good. Let's take a listen to this voicemail that our good friend Silver Pierre sent us.
Oh, God, I'm exhausted.
Oh, this is last week's.
Okay, well, I was about to say.
Yeah. Sorry,
it's appropriate after a Kingdom Hearts talk.
Yeah, that was very good. Sorry, my feed didn't refresh here. My Wi-Fi is like surprisingly not good down here in my den. My Wi-Fi. Here we go. Was the right one?
What up, guys? Hope you are here. I hope everybody's doing all good and well. Really impromptu. I'm like right now on the outside walking into my house to throw in the trash. So fun times. Sorry for any background noise, dogs or kids or whatnot. So yeah.
Can you hear Mario?
It sounds so tropical,
really
boy.
About Batman,
It does. It's in a forest.
Series. Played the first episode, then saw the spoiler cast that Alex did with Crew, Garrett, and what was the other guy's name? No, seriously, I'm out of it. It's Saturday night, and
see, he does it better.
Workplace being a bitch, emotionally, it's been a bitch. But I forgot. Sorry, dude. You're a cool dude. You're one of the good ones.
Some variety dish
yeah,
thing.
Just writes Walking Dead recaps. It's fine.
I'm looking forward for this series. I mean, I have skipped a couple of the series that they have done, like the Game of Thrones and Tales from the Borderlands. But this
Keep forgetting
one,
Game of Thrones
it's
is a
Batman.
game.
Apparently it's not good.
And,
So
you know, even though I didn't have money on me to buy it, I forgot that I had some change on the theater wallet, and I bought it, and I do not regret it. It's kind of cool. It's a must buy. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have even a question. I mean, I'm so exhausted. My creative muscles are like out of it. Usually I give you guys something to laugh about, and it's just it.
sorry, we still love you.
Tough week for me.
I hope things pick up, man.
What can I tell is that I saw Netflix and chill. Saw the whole first season of Penny Dreadful, first season, and quite good. Check that out. I'm now in the second one, and I got hooked. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing else to talk about. I'm quite eager to see when, even though it's August, when September comes, Netflix gonna have the Disney catalog for them on their hands, and I'm quite interested what if Netflix is planning to put like in the first month, and what Marvel movies and Vault movies and whatnot because I want my kid, that is getting into that point, that he will be interested in those kind of movies. To,
Impossible.
start
that'd be
watching like
good.
the old classics that I grew up with. So, but yeah, that's pretty much about me, guys. Sorry that I don't have my creative juices today.
It's okay.
This
Thanks for
week,
calling in.
perhaps. And also, anybody looking forward for the CPT roundup for this month? It will be delayed, like a bit big a shitty week. So
It's coming
I'm
though.
working on it. So it will be updated with the results of this weekend's event. That is quite awesome. So yeah. So without further ado, have a fun one. Have a happy Saturday, you all. I'm gonna try to from my side. So PR, signing out.
You have a happy Saturday yourself, Silver PR. And get some sleep, man. Get some rest. I know that exhausting week all too well. It was me last week, I think. Yeah, CPT is coming. The CPT roundup's coming. He told me, he gave me an update. So it is on its way. For folks that are interested in reading. We got other stuff to read on the site in the meantime. The only other question that we have, remember you can always tweet your questions at IrrationalPod with the hashtag IPQ. The only other question we got was from Ryan Celeste. Good dude. Hung out with him at not PAX, Kind of Funny Live 2. Good guy. Met him at Kind of Funny Live 1. He said, where do you hope to see the Telltale Batman game go? I think we kind of got an idea of what you were looking forward to, Nobishin.
Yeah.
Maybe like a big choice between being Bruce or being the Bat. For me, like, I'm hoping like more mobsters, right? I talked about it in the spoiler cast. Like, having Falcone in there is good. Hoping like maybe Black Mask, other, like more grounded villains. This seems pretty grounded so far. Very, very mobster focused, very like early Gotham focus. No masked enemies really in that city yet. So I think that's cool. It's a good start. So stuff like Sionis, Black Mask would be good.
Do you think they'll get weird? When I say weird, I mean like how Cobblepot, like how Cobblepot is just a man.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love it. I hope they get. If they keep going like with stuff like that, it's like, hey, this is our interpretation of this character, and it's really different. I'd be way into it.
Mm-hmm.
Harvey Dent already seems pretty different, right? He's not like super popular, and he's also like not super clean as a whistle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is cool. It's like, okay, he's like a guy, which is already like a better approach to the character. So like, yeah, I mean, I hope so. They got plenty of other characters to interpret. Like, I love Selena Kyle already. Super great. I mean, obviously, Laura Bailey, but whatever. What do you think of Troy Baker as Batman?
Good delivery. Like, yeah. He's on point, like as usual.
As usual, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I see it like by the end, like by episode 5, we get supervillains, kind of it. Yeah, I expect maybe Two-Face, Penguin, stuff like that.
I think Joker will probably be the tease for season 2.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were saying on the spoiler cast of like, no Joker, please no Joker. But like, if you want to tease that for season 2, that's fine. But like, try and like the best part about Batman, and like we talked a lot about Year One as well, like Batman Year One, which is a great story of like, you see that original Batman where he's kind of more brutal, and also, but he's dealing with more kind of like normal like thugs and gangsters. And that's cool, and then it's kind of like this own dynamic, and then, it begets this greater evil, the psychopaths, and like as you kind of like finally deal with the corruption of Gotham, like this new level of evil comes in. So like stick to that kind of transitionary period, and don't go full crazy until like the very end, and then allude to maybe it going even crazier later on. That's what I'm hoping for.
So one last question about the Batman and Telltale thing.
Sure.
Alfred.
That is fine.
Not too whiny for you?
I didn't think so. He reminded me a little bit. It wasn't as whiny as like the Nolan movie Alfred for me.
Like for the most part, I think he was mostly on your side. That one is like, he just give you like a little cautionary advice. This one is like, you really shouldn't do this.
But like, it reminded me a little bit of Arkham Origins. I got a lot of those vibes from this. It's kind of like the same era, where he's like, you should like you're dragging your family's name through the mud.
Through the mud.
Yeah, and he said some stuff like that in Origins. But like when things went to shit in Origins and Bane attacked, like that's when Alfred's like, okay, maybe this is necessary. Like I expect him to kind of come around to it. The one thing I didn't touch on, I really like. It reminds me a lot of Scott Snyder's Batman run of the New 52, which is again the only Batman run I've read, but like this kind of idea of like what is the Wayne family, what did they do, what is their legacy, and this kind of feeling of a greater conspiracy. I like that kind of stuff. So really, really interesting. It's like props to Telltale for really leaning into their strengths. But that's it for the mail sec. If you'd like to be a part of the show, you can do so in any of three ways, or all of three ways if you prefer. You can send us an email, mailsack@irrationalpassions.com. Leave us a voicemail, 404-590-1337. Keep in mind, standard long distance fees do apply. Or you can tweet us at IrrationalPod. That's the show's Twitter account with the hashtag IPQ. Outside of that, you can follow each of us on Twitter. I'm at AlFighter27. Scott is at WUTTEHCHUZ, what to chuz. Nabishin is at Nabishin186, NABESHIN186. And Cassidee, our guest from earlier, is at Cassidee Moser. It's 2 S's, 2 E's, 1 D. All one word. And like I said, the site and the show on Twitter at IrrationalPod. Some other stuff, rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Go to VGEvo.com. Check out the podcast there, as well as Malicious Pod X, which is currently only on YouTube, but we'll be coming back in audio form soon enough, once we get shit figured out. Check out twitch.tv/IrrationalPassions and youtube.com/IrrationalPassions. That's where you can watch that Batman spoiler cast. And tell your friends about the show. Word of mouth is the best way to spread the love. And one more time, if you could go check out Cassie's awesome freelance writing across the many websites. She's the editor over at Shack News. She does reviews for GameSpot. She does features for IGN, and she does previews for Shack News as well. So she got stuff everywhere. So go check that stuff out. And for everything else, Irrational Passions, irrationalpassions.com. That's where it's at. And there's a bunch of awesome articles going up and everything on a weekly basis now, which is super cool. I got more stuff coming in the pipeline. A couple of reviews from our new writers as well, which I'm pretty excited about. Abzu review is on its way. I have Hyperlight Drifter review that'll come soon. It's been nice writing reviews again. I haven't done it in a while. So that's it. That's the show. You guys want to just close out here? I'm pretty tired. I'm cool with just calling it.
Suicide Squad is between Matt and okay.
Okay.
It's not completely terrible. It's not completely good either. Oh, it's not good at all, but like it's not completely terrible.
Okay, I saw you said that you liked it on Snapchat.
Yeah, but like like I saw it again because
Oh, okay.
It's one of those it was playing like I always go with my friend Kim to see superhero movies, but she couldn't make it on the opening night. But so I went with my best friend Tony, and we saw that together, and it was like, oh, that's okay. And then I saw it again. It's like, oh, this is a lot worse. So it was like one of those type of things. So like it was one of those things you only see once if you're going to see it at all. And if you're going to see it, I probably would recommend holding out and wait for the Blu-ray with the more cuts, so you can have like more than 7 minutes of the Joker.
I think
and Slipknot's gonna have more than 2 lines in it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hold off.
I think that's a smart idea.
Yeah. I watched the full Kind of Funny thing. So like, it was with me with this. I was like, I don't care. It seems like there's not a lot to spoil. In
there's nothing at all.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, seeing Greg Miller upset, that hurt me, honestly. I will say, speaking of superhero movies, a good superhero movie. I watched Avengers 2 this past week. So I liked it a lot when I first saw it. I even wrote a review of it on my blog. And then it kind of sullied with me. I remember like just not having like a fond remembrance of it. Watch it again. It's like way better on a second viewing for me. That's a really good movie.
Ultron still holds up? I remember liking him a lot.
Yeah, like Ultron was better for me second time around. Because there's kind of like this Joker level of he like really doesn't understand that he's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's like really little stuff that I didn't notice first time around that I did notice this time around. So I was like just hypnotized by James Spader's amazing voice. But like there's like facial expressions that he does where he just like doesn't get it. And it's like actually really unsettling. And I was like really impressed. The Thor stuff is still silly, but I love Thor, so it works for me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that movie's better on a second go round. It's just weird.
Ragnarok is not this year, is it?
No, it's next year.
Okay.
I know. I'm sad too.
So it's just Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is this year. Then next year is Guardians, Spider-Man, Ragnarok, which is a good lineup though. That's it. That's the show. Thank you all so much for listening. Thanks to the folks who've been watching live, tuning in, whatnot. Thank you to Danny Wiesner for opening music of Two-Player Co-op and then our closing music of The World is Saved. Thank you, Cassidee, again for joining us. That was awesome. Sad that she couldn't stay the whole time. She already sent me a DM saying like, "Hey, next time I got a free Saturday, like, let me know." She'd love to come on a full show. So, she's awesome. Go check out her stuff. Thank you, Scott Namishin, for joining me. Love you guys. Winky face. Tony, somewhere wherever he is. I hope he feels better. He's been sick for like 2 weeks straight. I feel bad. I hope he feels better soon.
You got the 1 ill.
He got the 1 ill. There it is.
I never knew that. Like, that's funny.
It was in Disney World too. That's where people said it. You would think that people in Disney World would have seen the name O'Neill before, but anyway, well, you can't fix stupid. I'm your host, Alex O'Neill. Play your games, stay rational. We will talk to you all next week. Scott, I'm going to send you the link for this doc. I didn't do that. I'm sorry.
Haha.
But you have a job to do.
Indeed. Titles.
I forgot about this first one.
Noah's Ark of podcasts.
I like this.
Cassidee Moser and Alex 1 ill.
I like that. That's Cassidy's and my like indie punk band.
Pinterest is for crazy people.
Yeah.
Buffy the Teen Drama Slayer. Junkrat creeps me out. We suffer for our podcast. But it's like a spider, right? Fuck Cortana on Xbox One. It's been real.
It's been real, fam.
Nomura knew. One who knows nothing can understand nothing. Tony caught the 1 ill.
These are all pretty good. What do you like, Scott?
Yeah, I'm pretty biased for it, but it's like a spider, right?
Of course. Nabashin?
Either no more new or one who knows nothing can understand nothing.
I like one who knows nothing can understand nothing because I want to cut in the clip of him saying that for the beginning of the show.
Okay.
Let's do it. I'll say the episode number. I haven't done it in a while. You're listening to Irrational Passions Podcast, episode 289.
One who knows nothing can understand nothing.
That guy was so good. He's still around. He's still kicking, I think.
Yeah.
You can stop recording. And that's it. Oh, also, video viewers, good night. Sayonara. Thank you for watching.